I'm tangled. Hello? Hello? How's everybody doing? I'm tangled up. I don't think Jake's headphones are in. There are no headphones. What's up? How's everybody doing? Thank you very much. Got a little cleanup. There he is. What's up?
Weird. For some reason, I couldn't find the stream, dude. It wasn't showing up for me on my end.
Weird.
But all is good now.
All is good. Chat, we are here. You are here. And we are ready. No one will be afeared. How about some rhymes?
That sounds good. That was really good.
I was trying to do some rhymes to get it started.
How's it going, man?
Good, man. How's it going with you?
Good. Good.
Good.
Great. Perfect.
Awesome. Sick.
It's amazing.
That's what I was hoping.
All right, so let's say hey to chat. What's up, chat?
Chat.
Lots of the usual suspects hanging out. Good to see you.
What's going on in MTG? Chat, tell us what's going on in MTG.
There is stuff going on in MTG. There is definitely some stuff. I gotta turn my lights on back there. That's gonna freak me out.
Don't get freaked. Chat, we got a couple of topics we want to cover tonight. Numero uno. Our Mod Spectre, aka the numbers guy, has put together all the numbers for the Cute to Brute secret lair, which, let me double check, because now I have to check these things because I can't keep up with all this stuff anymore.
This one was kind of
it is still for sale.
This one's kind of unexpected, dude. This was something that I wouldn't expect, and there's something that I do have to say about the fact that it's still alive, and it makes me kind of think that the prices of it are in no way going to surpass the price of Heads I Win, Tails You Lose, which I believe you can get
flip it till you ship it. I think that's what we called that last one.
Yeah, I mean, that one was something, dude. That took a long time. Now this one, I imagine they are going to have worked out the kinks to make sure that they get it to you quickly.
I believe it's already been shipping. I believe they pre-printed these ones.
Zed, I appreciate you. Yeah,
that's one of the topics we want to cover tonight.
Yeah, I just want to kind of think about, Joel, you were able to successfully order it, right? Heads I Win, Tails You Lose.
Oh,
and this one?
Yeah, I've got them both.
So what was the price on Heads I Win, Tails You Lose? Do you remember that?
I believe 100, just over 100 was shipping, 110, 115, 120 was shipping. I can't remember. Something like that.
Well, maybe someone in chat, because this one was 150, which is going to be different if Heads I Win, Tails You Lose was actually 100, which is what Bobby Z is saying. So maybe this one has a little bit of a premium.
Heads I Jake Tells You Joel. What about that? Consider that for a second.
That sounds like something chat said. Is that what? Oh, Charles. Okay, Charles said that.
Debug. What up?
Yeah, I don't see a ton of demand for it. I think it would be gone by now, right? If there was a ton of demand.
Oh yeah, I thought it was going to be just a one-day sale. We'll talk about that one. Yeah. We've also got a little great pickups segment that we want to do tonight. We want to focus on two sets in particular: the Multiverse Legends from March of the Machine and Dominaria Remastered. Want to alert y'all to some of these prices because they've gotten cheaper.
Yeah. Yes. And then finally we're going to talk a little bit about Streets of New Capenna 1 year later, which was something that we've done once so far with Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, where we looked at that a year after it had been out. We're going to see what looked good, what worked, what didn't work.
That's right.
And yeah, we're just going to kind of go back a little bit of history, and then we're going to look at that Secret Lair, which is just, it's interesting that it's still up. And then also, you know, we'll take a look at the roster of cards. I think the fact that you get a bunch of pathways in it is pretty cool. But other than that, I mean, there's not, I mean, there's the art. There's art that's specific to the Secret Lair as normal, but yeah.
Past that,
Bobby Z says, wait, singles went down in price after the set release? Shocked. I know, that's pretty much par for the course.
Yeah, if we stop talking about that on the channel, we'll half our available content, Bobby. So yeah, just humor us. Let us sit here again and go, singles drop over time, y'all. Yeah, go back and count how many videos subtitles could be singles drop over time.
We should just make that the name of our channel, is singles drop over time, and it'll just be a reminder every time someone clicks
Start
on
shopping
it.
For sets 6 to 9 weeks after they release.
Yeah, that sounds good.
The Jake and Joel Show by Jake and Joel.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I've been over here continuing to do some organizing, which has been really a revelation. I do this thing where I save some of my sealed decks that work out well. If I go like 3-0 and in like a pre-release or a draft, I'll save that deck.
Yeah.
Very rarely I will save a 2-1 if the deck was particularly good, but I feel like I got shafted on one of the rounds.
Yeah.
But I found about 10 decks so far that were just old pre-release decks that I kept together, or not pre-release, but limited decks.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun kind of like unearthing all of these old stories that my collection has that I've kind of like forgotten about over the years.
D-Buck asks, do you think original Throne of Eldraine is going to go up with us revisiting? Not in and of itself, but I think that like the set won't go up just because of hype, but the set will go up for the similar mechanics that will be added to. Look at your cards that have to do with knights.
Yeah.
Look at cards that have to do with food. Yet again, that Academy Manufactor card. It's like you're doubling clues, foods, and treasures, right?
That is a good card.
That card has the potential to go up from so many different sets.
That card's already pretty much a
Adventure
EDH classic, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's gotta be. Sure. Lillian nailed it. Adventure cards, stuff like that.
Yeah. Lucky Clover seems like a good card to have like a foil copy of if you don't have it.
Yeah.
Not financial advice.
Fairies, like, LP,
something good, like that.
Good point. So look for those types of cards. Obviously, we're definitely not encouraging specking because, you know, just on complete guesses, because you don't know what's going to get reprinted. And you know there's going to be roughly 18 precons, 9 or 10 different jumpstart sets. There's regional exclusive tokens, obviously. That's just kind of a consistent thing now. There's going to be a secret layer attached to it that you can only get if you go to Mark Rosewater's mailbox.
Kranos says, I love your channel. I subscribed when you did a review regarding the Secret Lair Post Malone series.
Nice.
Also, first time joining the stream. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out.
Secret Lair Post Malone. Wild that even exists. Sometimes I remember that exists and I go, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, our game eventually is just going to become like Ready Player One, the card game.
Fortnite. Fortnite's already done that.
Yeah. Yeah. I do feel like MTG covers a lot more ground than Fortnite does, though. Like maybe it doesn't have the eyes that Fortnite does, but
Sure.
it has the foundation to have like a lot more of a foothold than it does, because you have the arena, you have paper, you have tons of different formats. I mean, Fortnite's all a self-contained thing within,
Right.
you know, just like one medium, but MTG has it could get there. I mean, we already see tons of different product crossovers, so
Let me get my LaCroix open and we'll get into this.
yeah, what do you want to start with tonight? What
Let's
are you
just
feeling?
knock out this secret layer piece. Tonight I'm
Yeah,
drinking.
we're just gonna talk about it.
Peach
What do
pear.
we have? Do we have prices for cards?
Oh yeah, dude. Spectre came through hard. I don't know if I've seen.
Oh, we
Spectre
didn't even
hanging out
need
tonight.
we didn't even need all that. We were just gonna talk about the deck, but I mean that's cool. We can dive into that if we want to. But like the thing is like the sale could end any moment. We don't really know when it's gonna end.
Right.
It's kind of like
That's why we're talking about it now. Honestly, we weren't
Yeah.
even planning on talking about this. I didn't think we were gonna have a chance because we thought it was gonna be a one-day sale. Let's swap over. Let's look at this. Secret Lair Cute to Brute. We thought when this was first announced that this was going to be a one-day sale, or at least I did. And here we are, Wednesday the 10th, as we're shooting this, hanging out there with chat. Chat, say hello to YouTube. They're watching right now and you don't even know it. Cute to Brute's still on sale. Is it still going to be on sale when you see this video? I don't know. Let us know in the comments if it's still for sale. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the deck a little bit. We got some great price breakdowns from our mod Spectre, aka the numbers guy. Got what our entire layer is, our top 10 cards by value. Let's take a peek at what you get first, Jake. Secret Lair Commander deck, Cute to Brute, $150 compared to $100 for the coin flip deck.
fun fact. These are my least favorite cards ever. Cards that flip.
Jake hates
My least favorite
flip
thing in the world
cards.
to deal with.
This is like a layer specifically designed against Jake's entire psyche.
100%. So from that perspective, for people like me that don't like flip cards, this is probably going to be a pass for those people. That said, it does have some good cards in it. And also, I do have a commander that I really enjoy playing that is a flip commander. But in Commander, I just keep my commander in this.
Right.
And I flip it over when I flip it. I don't have to go into a sleeve and flip it. So
Samesy. I've got...
does that make me a bad deck builder because I don't like using MDFCs? No, because I do use MDFCs anyway. I use them despite the fact that I don't like using them.
I too built a flip commander from this same set that Jake was showing you. And what I did was I put it in a clear sleeve. It's in a clear dragon shield, so I don't have to take it out of the sleeve. Anyway, the old guys are done yelling at the clouds. Let's talk about this layer.
A lot of people don't care about a flip card, so take that with a grain of salt.
Basically,
that's just me particularly.
What
I don't like it.
What I'm looking at this as is typically I'm a purchase to open and play it. I am going to purchase this. I already did. I am going to open this.
Whoa.
That's my plan. But I don't think I'm going to play this deck as it is. I think that this is going to be the fastest deck ever to be broken down for me. What you're getting is you're getting these modal DFCs at the top of the whole chain here. And then there's a whole commander deck under this. It all has to do with flip cards. Real quick, Walter, thank you for being a member for 29 months. You're a madman.
What an absolute legend.
You're a madman.
Thanks for breaking this one down. I'm debating. Yeah, I mean, it's still available. I was not expecting it to still be available today. I just figured this was, a secret layer that comes out alongside the 60-day bundle that's currently available. And this one's just going to be a flash in the pan.
Right.
There and gone. But as of the filming of this video right in this moment, it is available if anybody has not got it.
Asika, God of the Tree, is the quote-unquote commander of this one. As you can see, the whole gimmick is you've got these 5 cards at the top of the food chain here, so to speak, that are Cute on one side and brutal on the other. Cute to brute. Yeah. You got Westvale Abbey. It flips into Ormondal. Asika flips into Prismatic. Bloodline into Lord of Lineage. Avacyn into Avacyn. And then Bolas into Planeswalker Bolas. The cards themselves, pretty sweet looking. I like these 5 a lot. I think that this is a really cool idea. Having cute on the front, brutal on the back. I love this Avacyn the Purifier. Pretty insane. Bloodline Keeper, not a bad inclusion here. Tap to create some bats, good in token strategies outside of just vampire cards. Man, this Bolas. It's a good Bolas. Dude. It's a good Bolas. One of my favorite versions of this card ever printed. I think, honestly, now one of my favorite cards ever printed. Because this Bolas on the back is just sick. God Machine killed this piece. And this Bolas on the front is the cutest, cuddliest little thing I've ever seen in my life.
Bobby Z says we should play 4 of these stock on Spell Table.
That would be maddening. From everything I can tell, this is just a pile of flip cards. The synergy is their flip cards, and that's not a synergy. Ormondal on the back of Westvale there. We saw Asika. Past that, you've got 42 double-faced reprints. Jake, they put 47 double-faced cards in this deck just for you, buddy.
But the art on them isn't any different. Like, let's clear that up.
These are reprints.
The art, yeah. How many cards got new art? Let's answer that question. Is it just the ones that
5
are showcased here that we see? All right. So other than that, everything else is a reprint. This is just like buying, stock deck ready to go. This is kind of like what they did with Heads I Win, Tails You Lose. Pretty similar. Heads I Win, Tails You Lose. They got some new art for some cards, but it was a bunch of reprints as well.
Right, exactly. So I think it's actually very important in the case of these particularly expensive layers to look at the prices. Again, thank you to our mod Spectre for putting this together. Puts it together for all the secret layers, and it just gives us invaluable information to use. So
yes,
let's look over here. Top 10 cards by value. Let's just start there. Let me center this up a little bit so that we can actually see it with our human eyes.
Yeesh.
Top 10 cards by value.
And then percentage of the secret layer that card is worth. I like that.
Yeah, so we got the top 10 cards by value, the percentage of the secret layer, the percentage of the total value presented by that single card. As you can see, Nicol Bolas the Ravager, $25 card right now, $24 card right now. Jace Vryn's Prodigy, $16.
JVP is good. That's a good notable reprint.
Not new art on JVP, but we do get the new Nicol Bolas art. Bloodline Keeper, new art, $16. Asika, new art, $15. Guardian Project. Now this one's interesting.
This was a card that was an absolute, like, if you bought these for cheap, you made so much money.
This was a bulk rare.
This was a bulk rare when this set first came out. You were able to get this sub $1. I mean, it's an amazing story as far as penny stocks go. It's just nuts.
Now it is a Commander staple. And as you can see here, previously only printed in Ravnica Allegiance, which at this point was 2019.
Scarcity play.
It was
big scarcity card
4 years ago. I had this one on my list to appear in Commander Masters later this year. I don't think that that's still out of the question. And so for me, when I cracked this to play a lot of the cards, Guardian Project, that's getting out of here almost immediately. Because it's not a flip card. It can be reprinted almost anywhere that a master set is being reprinted. Hell, it can even show up in a standard set. Card's not broken in standard.
It'll be a good time to pick up that card.
Yeah, exactly. That's one that I want to move ASAP. Valakut Awakening, $8.30. And then you got Kennen at 8, Triplicate Titan at 8, and Nissa at 7-ish. So you can see 40% of the value of this entire deck is sitting in that top 10 section, $115. Now, let's look at the value of the deck, because that's important too. The Lair itself, $150. The singles presented in there, $283. So they've done this almost 2x thing that they seem to try and do with the really premium secret layers. I think with the regular secret layers, they've gotten to the point where it's just like, we can nail the price of those.
Yeah.
Almost every single time. Then
now we should say that the prices you're seeing now are for any cheapest price for a single copy of any of these cards on the secondary market. So like where we're saying Nicol Bolas the Ravager is worth $24, this Nicol Bolas the Ravager could end up being worth that same 24, or it could be as high as 40. It could be, you know, cheaper than a regular Nicol Bolas. So keep that in mind. Take these prices with a grain of salt. Yeah, I mean,
prices are always going to change over time based on 1,000 different things. We're just talking about the prices as they are right now. If this card bends, it's going to be terrible. If it doesn't, this is going to be a premium version of Bolas that people want forever, and you're never going to be able to get any other way except for this deck.
Yeah, and that's a card that's already scarce. So this card could be worth that same amount. Sometimes you see a secret layer card that will just absolutely have so much more demand than other cards from that layer, and then it will have a card that outpaces the rest of the cards in the market that are the same name. Sometimes you'll have a secret layer card that is the exact same price. It's just the same, or it's even cheaper than if you were to get, you know, a different card. You see that with a lot of variants these days, where sometimes the variants are not worth the regular price of the cards.
For sure.
I mean, we'll see here. If it's going to be Nicol Bolas the Ravager, it's going to at least be, in my opinion, that the same price.
The oh yeah, for sure. My opinion on this one is that the Asika into Prismatic Bridge and the Ravager into the Arisen, these two cards are going to be the overtime money cards from this set. I just think that anybody who wants Asika is going to try their best to get this version of it, because that looks wonderful in your command zone, and then you're only ever really going to play it as this side, but that looks badass.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool Prismatic Bridge. Walter with the $5 says, can anyone confirm the coin flip deck had some cards with a unique expansion symbol? Might this deck have some cards with a unique expansion symbol? I'm not sure. I think we see the symbol for it right there. I think this symbol is the shooting star kind of look.
Yeah, the WPN logo.
Yeah. Tim C says, if it's a good pickup for you, great, but value is bad. I mean, here's the thing. If you were to take the deck and piece it out and break it down, you would be able to possibly make more money than what you paid for the deck, but you would be losing some of that money in fees. And the big thing, your biggest loss would be your time, which is all the time that it takes to break this out. For me, you know, a lot of these cards that are sub $1, they're going to be worth less than that. A lot of these cards where you see like 7s and 6s, I expect those to be lower as well as people break these up. I would buy it if it's something that you're interested in playing, and if it's something that you're like, you know what, I don't have a lot of these cards and I just want to fill out my collection. A lot of these products are great for that. Just fill out your collection.
To that point, having every single pathway just included in here is a huge plus in my mind. If you don't have any of these yet, you're just going to have them now. It's like having a secret layer of just the pathways. I think they did it and it was ridiculously priced. Now you can buy it in a commander deck that at least presents singles in totality that are more than the price you're paying. With
they were like, we're just going to give you every pathway. They're like, yeah, we're giving you all of them.
Flip lands, flip deck makes sense. Include the pathways.
And then you got the Westvale Abbey, which when it was actually in standard, it was worth more than it is now, but it's still a cool card. It's
World Tree included. Nice little inclusion there. Another thing that I've noticed about this is that we've got quite a bit of a good amount of the 5-color sort of fixing stuff in here, so that you can actually play the deck if you choose to. But like I said, the deck list itself, the synergies don't really exist. You're just trying to get Esika onto the battlefield flipped, and you're trying to, get the creatures onto the battlefield.
Wait, so you're telling me that you're trying to tap mana and just play some creatures with this?
Well, no, Prismatic Bridge, you don't have to tap mana. It's free.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, is the whole deck is just built around, you can just generically get these creatures onto the battlefield with the bridge. It's pretty much the strategy. There's not any synergy, is my point.
Yeah, not a big selling point as far as a fun or interesting playing experience is kind of like the vibe. It's like,
well, I think fun and interesting. I think it actually will be fun and interesting because it's just such a weird thing. I think it's more that it's not going to be strong. You're not really not really going to be spiking games with this deck, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
Is that the synergies, the power level. I mean, we're used to, at this point, pre-cons.
Yeah, I shouldn't say it's not going to be fun, because it's going to be a bunch of foiled cards, and it's going to be a good time, playing art cards with new art. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Just from a synergy standpoint, it's going to fall short.
At this point, dude, we're used to like the Warhammer decks, man. We're used to, even the standard precons nowadays are strong right out of the box. Cut 10 cards, maybe cut 5 cards, and you're ready to really go. Just rip them apart. But this one out of the box, doesn't look like that strong of a deck. And look, I purchased this, y'all. I'm telling you, as a person who owns this, I ain't gonna play this deck like it is. I'm definitely gonna play these cards. I got all 10 pathways ready to go. Ton of just like straight up mix and match.
Oh, is it only 5 foils?
Good stuff, Commander. The whole deck is not foiled. No, thank God. We're crossing our fingers that these 5 aren't gonna bend. I'm hoping, since they're double-sided foils, that they'll be flat.
5 foils, and then a lot of playable reprinted cards.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Arcane Signet, Thematic Compass, Dagger, Beast Within, Hagra Mauling, Harmonize, Farseek, Time Wipe. Like, if you just are trying to build a Commander collection, if you just started in the last 6 or 7 months, this has all 5 colors of a lot of good playable Commander cards.
Sure.
Maybe not a ton of value, except for certain ones. But overall, they've done what they need to do to be able to sell it. They didn't build a fantastic deck. They built a deck that provides good value. Again, 150 layer price, 283 for the single price across there. You got 3 cards that are more than 15, 10 that are more than 6 that are more than 10, and then 18 cards that are $5 or more. You got, I'm really thinking Bolas and Esika are going to be the 2 standouts in here. And then this is the first real reprint of Guardian Project, but I think that this can pop up at any time in any place. And so you really don't want to hold on to this one too long unless you just are going to roll the dice.
I think JVP could actually see its price go down as well. That's a scarcity value. I don't think Jace Vryn's Prodigy gets a ton of value. A little bit in Modern, but I mean, maybe Pioneer. Maybe Pioneer wants it.
Wow, $25. Yeah, this is listed at 15. So you got, I mean, depending on where you're looking, what you're getting it for. You got some down in the 15 range.
Bro, those Comic-Con cards, I remember getting these ones, the ones that these and like that first set of Comic-Con walkers, and I got 2 of those sets, those beautiful cards, and I sold one for 250, which was amazing because I paid 65 for it, and then I sold the other one for 650, which was 10x what the price I paid for it was. And now that first set of Comic-Con walkers is worth like 2,500 min. It's just nuts, bro. It's nuts. At the time, I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're a genius." No, if I had held, I would have spent 130 to make 5K. Would have been pretty good.
So that's the breakdown on price on the Secret Lair Commander deck from Cute to Brute. Time will tell how long this is going to be for sale. It says shipping begins May 10th here, so they will probably just sell until they are sold out. Time will tell on these Commander decks. This is just the second one that we've seen ever. Time will tell if they hold or gain value.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on it. I think it could go either way, as if it's a winner or a loser. I think it's a cool product. I think that there's some fun cards in it. I'm not super keen on products that you have to flip the cards, but that's okay. I do think that they came up with something that's pretty sweet here. They made a product for people that like to, play flip cards, and if you don't have a lot of these, then it seems like a good pickup to me to fill out a collection all at once.
Yep. Secret Lair, Cute to Brute. Need some LaCroix after that segment.
So this one for me, dude, I'm just kind of medium on it, but I think it's good that we went over it. Shout out again to Spectre for doing all of this work. There's a lot of work that was done there. So thank you for taking the time to do that. That helps out the channel a ton. So please know that does not go unnoticed. That really does mean a lot. So thank you for taking the time to do it. I've just been watching Vlad and Tim have a disagreement for like the last 10 minutes. It's very funny.
I caught it out of the corner of my eye. I was trying to concentrate on the segment.
What are we fighting about?
What are we fighting about in chat?
It's mostly chill. Vlad is upset that Tim is not spelling his name out all the way.
Oh, well, spell his name out all the way if he's asked you to spell his name out all the way.
It's mostly, I think Tim doesn't like the deck and Vlad does like it. Vladimir.
This would be my Cute LaCroix. I did grab a hibiscus before I came up here. If we're gonna make my other one brutal by default, Peach Pear doesn't seem very brute. Jake's drinking beer.
No, that's just water in a a bottle. I just want it to look like
you're homeless.
Beer. Yeah, that's just a bottle I've been saving.
That's not beer. Oh, no, I'm homeless. That's my only bottle.
Oh man.
That's right.
So next up, we're gonna have a fun little moment where we're gonna talk about. Wait, first of all, we need to get to 69 likes. We're at 228 likes. People. We have 220 people watching and only 62 likes, so we got to get to 69.
My hair's cute. Jake's hair's brute.
My hair is relentless because I have this thing where it's like sometimes two hairs grow out of one follicle, and so my hair is mean to me sometimes. Sometimes my beard hurts. I'll get like a ingrown hair in my beard and my beard will hurt. I thought we were sharing.
Hair grows. No, you can share. I was just trying to figure out. Yeah, like hair grows.
Where we go from there?
Yeah. What is the complaint? My hair grows.
I think that my hair has a little bit of like an overproduction kind of thing, where it's like we're gonna get two hairs out of one follicle, and that is unneeded. If that makes sense.
Your hair is hyper productive.
It's like a hyper production kind of thing. I got like some sort of weird hair gene. Pub Stomp says Relentless Assault reprint with Jake's hair in the art. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, D-Hammer, exactly. The old follicle double up. Follicular double up. Thank you. It's a good way to say it. The old follicular double up.
Vladimir,
Vladimir,
it's really not helping your case when you say thanks for at least spelling it out, Keto, and you shorten their name. So now everybody's just got names shorted. You can call us J and J, fully shortened. You can call him Drake and me Josh.
This is good. We're maintaining pretty much the same amount of people here as we talk about hair follicles. Did you ever think about ever having a stream where it's like you get on and you try to get everybody to leave? You're like, everybody, you gotta go. Please don't watch it.
You're the only psychopath I know.
And you try to get it down to 0. You try to like work it. You're like, go, get out of here. We got to take it down to 0.
Jake's learning how streaming works, y'all. So just
you've never thought about doing that?
He's gonna figure it out as we go.
I think it would be a crazy experiment to see if you could get it to 0. I don't think people would, it's like
Magic the Dreadnought.
If you're just starting off, sure, you can have a stream with 0 people. But like getting a stream from like 200 people to 0, I don't think it's possible. There would always be some troll who's left over that's like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, suck it, Magic the Noah. Now you're a moderator for our channel. So welcome to responsibilities, pal. We'll see you at the meeting on Monday.
Wait a minute. Is that the same Magic the Noah that set me up with a bunch of questions I would never even understand?
You must be talking about a different one. You must be talking about our moderator, Magic the Noah.
I think. Is it the same Magic the Noah that had us on for
I'm pretty sure
a game show, or is it a different Magic the Noah?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! We've got a Vladimir in chat now. Now we have a Vladimir and a Vladimir. Things are getting crazy in chat tonight.
That's great. We're covering our bases with the vowels.
Magic the Noah, congratulations on obtaining moderator status. I know you've been.
Did you wrench him?
Oh yeah,
you wrenched him, didn't you?
Wrenched the hell out of that guy.
Okay.
You gonna come in here to my chat? You're gonna come in here and you're gonna kick my ass?
I can be trusted with this status.
You gonna come in here? You're gonna kick my ass? No, I'm gonna kick your ass.
I'm just a baby.
Welcome to responsibility, Magic.
Yes, okay.
Everybody, how would you type in chat right now how you would shorten your username? Now I want to know how everybody would shorten. Look at your username and shorten it the best you can.
This is what I would do.
We want everybody to have shortened usernames.
I would no, but it would be pronounced Jake. It would be an A with 2 dots over
like
it.
An umlaut. Yeah. Jake.
Yeah.
That's Jake.
Jake.
That's our buddy Jake.
And it's still pronounced.
Jake, are you going to the cheese whirling later?
How would you shorten your name?
I would go J-O-L and put an umlaut over it and be Joel.
So we would both do the same thing.
You copied me.
I don't know if I did. All right, let's see what everyone would do.
Vladimir said Vlad? Oh man, now we're getting meta. Vladimir's eating his own tail.
All right, I have a couple here. I want to do some of these because there's some really good ones here.
Yeah.
Duress, please would be Duress.
I like that.
Tim C would be just good times all around. LOL.
Vlad and Vlad are magical. Welcome back to Vlad and Vlad are magical.
Zach G would be G.
How were we so lucky tonight to get Vlad and Vlad out here?
Connor would be C, which is a good choice.
Welcome back to Vlad and Vlad are magical. Today we are talking about
would be Jank.
We are talking. Yeah, we already know that nickname.
All right, Rust Bucket would be Rust, and Vladimir Ampov would be Bam.
Oh my God! Somebody named Cockman typed in chat. I'm not even going to read the message.
Cause said I will be O. Nicholas says Nick. Mega Brand says MGABRN. So took out the E and then the second A. They just kind of shortened their name but kept the same way of pronouncing it.
Vladimir said his whole village will hear about this. Quick, delete the P.O. box off of our channel and information. We don't want them to know where we live. J-Wall, how did you type that? Joel.
Matt Corrales would just be MC. Dr. Terror would be Dr. T.
That's pretty good. I would shorten it to Doc as well and just go with Doc T. I think Doc
Yeah.
T. What's up, Doc T? That's pretty cool.
Cockman would be Bar. Zero Requiem Zay. J-Wall JW. D-Hammer would be Ham. Sight Chosen would be P-Zen. Zen. Maybe the P is silent. It would just be Zen. Cold Truth would be Aftermath collector boxes will reach 140.
That's a weird nickname. Vlad and Vlad
Walter
are
would be
magical.
Walt. There are so many good ones.
I'm really into Vlad and Vlad are magical. How did we get on this?
Blob. Blobly would be Blah. I don't know. We're just going through, coming up with some good ones. Duress Hunter. Hunter would be Hunter.
Why say many word when few word do trick? What are you gonna do with all that time you save? See world? Cool. Yeah. See, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about you're gonna go see the world, or are you gonna talk about you're going to Sea World? Fish. Ocean. Swim.
And Mean Quan would be TGE. All right, well, that's good. We covered that. What's the next thing that we have going on tonight? What's the big thing? All hail the Stream Monarch, Walter.
Yeah, I was gonna
Thank
say
you again for that $5 super
Walter. Hey. All hail Stream Monarch. Walter A. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you.
Now Bean Pot is saying that their name would be Pot and not Bean. So they have gone through a change.
That's fine. You can transition.
You
Now
can
you
go do
are
a
Bean.
different thing you want.
Now you are Pod.
You're Pot. Bean Pot.
Pot. Bean Pot.
Why am I wondering if Vlad's village is in Gulag in Siberia? I hope not. That would be... Well, they give you YouTube over there.
Their
so it
title
can't be that
fluid.
bad.
That's exactly right. Their name fluid.
My rapper name is just Lil. Here's how I know that the best rap name has not been taken. Are you ready?
Hang on.
And it doesn't exist.
I'm ready.
Lil Weed.
Is Lil Blunt taken?
That is also not taken.
I
Lil
think
Weed and Lil Blunt.
Yeah,
both
weed.
Not taken.
Weed. I get it. It's weed. But garden weed. You know, like Blunt is tough to mistake for anything else than the reference it is.
Lil Blunt.
Yeah, because as a noun, there's not anything else called a blunt, but you can use it as an adjective.
Yeah.
But are they a baseball bat? No, they're a rapper.
Now here's the other way that I know
Timothy,
that,
New Stream
that
Monarch.
the best rap name has not been taken. Are you ready?
Hang on. I'm ready.
Mr. Face.
That sounds like a porn video from like 98 that you're not supposed to Google.
I'm just saying. It
doesn't it though? That sounds like a video that you're like, yeah, Google Mr. Face.
Now here's the other thing.
And just watch it. Don't do it with your parents around.
I don't know why, but Lil Blunt makes me feel like that person is just a torso. And I know that sounds terrible to say, but that's just what my gut tells me, is that they are just a torso, or it's like instead of arms and hands, they just have just like pencil, like dull pencil points. It's like how they get around. They're like clunk, 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 kind of like scuttling around like a hedron or something, like a hedron crab.
Right.
Thank you for that $10 super chat.
If that's your life, you can never slip on a banana peel. So you got something going for you.
That's true. That's true. Well, now that we're definitely going to hell, what is the next segment that we want to go over this evening?
Why? Have you ever heard the song She's Nubs by NoFX? Any NoFX fans in chat?
She's Nubs?
Yeah.
Is that's the name of something? Of a song?
It's hard to give good head or get tied to a bed when all you've got's a body and head. She's Nubs.
Oh my God.
It was about a real woman that traveled and followed them went to all the punk rock shows. Yeah. And they wrote a song about her. And it's just a bunch of jokes about having no arms or legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
No Effects is fantastic. I'm loving seeing some No Effects fans in chat right now. Oh, baby. I haven't heard No Effects in a while.
That's a reference.
Did y'all see that Sum 41 broke up, by the way? They're calling it quits. I just saw them live last year. And dude, I got to tell you, they all look old as shit, but they rocked our faces off, man. They were so good.
So I guess my question would be,
they were
how many members?
awesome.
How many members are there in Sum 41?
4, I believe. 5.
So each of them will get 10, and who will get the last one that's left over?
4 of them, 5 of them. Okay, now we got arguments. D Hammer, you're gonna go see Blink-182 in a couple weeks. I'm gonna go see Blink-182 in a couple weeks. We got to
figure out how they're gonna divide up. How will they divide the 41? That's where I would figure out where to go from there.
Yeah, that is a tough one. 4 original, 5 and after 1 guitarist left and rejoined. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Darren, same. Blink-182, Sum 41, 98 Degrees. You know, any band with a number in it. Eiffel 65.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sum 41 no longer going to be together.
The 1.
Oh yeah, manager agents. The agents divide up the 1.
Yeah.
Everybody gets 10, and then the agents divide up the 1 between them. The B-52s, that's a good one. I've pretty much exclusively listened to bands with numbers in their name for about 15 years now.
All right, here we go. You get $1 million a year, but you can only listen to bands with numbers in their name. Would you do it? You can't listen to any other stuff.
What if I accidentally hear something like in a elevator? Like, am I going to have to arrange sound noise?
No, you don't have to deal with that, because if you go in a grocery store...
By choice only.
No, when you go in a grocery store, you go somewhere where you would hear that music, it is muted for you.
Oh, like a Black Mirror kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just muted in your brain.
So I literally... Okay, so that's another aspect. That's an interesting facet to this. So I will not be able to hear any music unless it is from a band with a number in the band name.
In their name. And here's the added bonus. If you can ever gain influence enough to get someone to change their band name to have a number in it, you would retroactively... No, you wouldn't retroactively get to go back and listen to any of their previously released stuff before they changed their name.
No, because they were still under the Beatles, but if they changed their name to the Beatles 32, then I'm good to go. Any of their new stuff. Oh, I only listen to Beatles after they became Beatles 32.
Yeah, and then you would have to track down Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney, and you would have to be like, please write some stuff under this.
We're working on resurrecting John.
And they're just like,
the reason we added the 32 is because we hired 32 scientists to resurrect John.
I think that there's something here. So would you do it for the milli?
One final question. If my child sings, is that also muted? Or is it only like music from a radio, from a speaker? Can I hear singing as well?
You're asking if let's take the fact that he's your son out of it. You're asking if someone does a cover of a popular song.
Well, if someone
their name has
it, yeah. If I'm in the room and they're singing it,
if it comes from a band that didn't have a number in their name, I don't think you get to hear it. But
if they sing a Blink-182 song, I'm good to go.
Yes, you would hear that. You would hear that. Yeah.
I will take the $1 million.
All right. Well, that's it. We figured it out, stream.
Okay. Everybody have a good night. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Share this to your friends who like bands with numbers in their name.
There we go. Look, people actually dropped off there. They left. They thought that we ended the stream.
Change his name to Maddox31. There we go. And teach him how to play guitar. Suddenly he's in a band.
And then you could just follow him around and, support his band and all is good. You would just be like, son, you can name it whatever you want. but you gotta put a number in it, or else I'm not gonna be interested.
That's right. Don't even bring that non-number shit to me.
Oh, that was great. That was great. And we faked some people out and they left the stream, which is cool too, because now we're more intimate with the people that are left.
That's one of Jake's favorite things, is trying to get people to leave our stream. March of the Machine.
Please just leave it. We're trying to get to 0. Dislike the video on your way out and leave the stream. We're going to get to 0. Trust me.
This is a weird era for Jake, where he just torpedoes everything around him. Full torpedo mode.
Just burning everything around me.
We call it his pyromania phase.
I'm running all the pyromancers. We got the seasoned pyromancer. We got young pyromancer.
Grim lavamancer.
Pyrahemia. Grim lavamancer.
Tiny Dancer, song by Elton John. I can't actually listen to it, but I've heard it's good.
It is a good song, and you can't hear it, but you are going to get your million, and that's not bad.
All right.
A lot of people, what about this? Would you cut out sour food ever? 100%. You don't ever get anything sour. Nothing tart.
Name 6 sour foods.
Okay. Lime. Lemon. A warhead.
I'll take the million.
Key lime pie.
I'll take the millie. Tires?
Damn it, Moseley, I'll get you next time.
I can't eat tires anymore? What is life even for?
I promised you I would get you. Yeah, sweet and sour chicken.
All right.
Yeah, sour food is kind of gross, isn't it? If you eat it too much. Yeah. Oh no, chat disconnected. What happened to chat?
Let's take a look, Jake, at some great pickups here on May 10th. May 10th is when we're shooting this. We are looking at card prices as of May 10th. Great pickups. We have got 2 different sets right now that we think you should be looking at. The first one is Dominaria Remastered. This came out in January. It's now May. Everyone has forgotten this set even existed by now. Everybody's like, when does the Lord of the Rings set start leaking? Because I know Commander Masters starts leaking the week after that, right before it starts previewing. Dominaria Remastered and March of the Machine, specifically the Multiverse Legends. These are in that, like, it's time to start looking at it range. Maybe not necessarily exactly now picking these up, but they need to be on your radar.
Some of
these are already exactly.
Yeah. Some have already entered into my zone where, yeah, it's like low risk.
So let's start with the Multiverse Legends, Jake. What I've done here is I've opened up MTG Stocks. Shout out mtgstocks.com. Fantastic resource. We use it all the freaking time. If you need to know card prices or just track stuff over time, love MTG Stocks as a tool to do that. I've got them sorted market high to low here.
Yeah, so we have the whole list here, but I have a few that I really want to highlight that we're going to go over that are specifically very low compared to where we've seen them in the past. And because of that, let's talk about Jin Kataxis Core Augur. And this is the Multiverse Legends frame. This is a card that is just one of those absolutely busted cards. It's an amazing reanimation target. It's just one of these cards that's just so good. And it's a lightning rod. You got to remove it. If you don't, it's going to win the game. This card is like, I've seen it sub 4 at this point. I've seen this card as low as like 375. That for me is low risk on a card that is always going to be fun to have in your collection. If you're just playing like a big blue-green Simic deck, this is a great card to just go into the first iteration of a deck, cut it later if it doesn't work. But this is just low price on a card that was very scarce and pretty expensive at one point, and now it's very cheap.
Yeah, honestly, as a Reanimator player, I want to start the game with 4 cards in my hand. A Swamp, a Dark Ritual, an Entomb, and a Reanimate. Because you know what that means? I'm getting T1 Jin-Gitaxias Core Augur.
And it's over.
And the game is pretty much done.
Oh, wait, hold everything up. We need to update the Monarch.
Working on it right now.
You got it going? Okay, good.
I shouted it out, but I did not change anything because I was too busy considering what music I can and cannot listen to anymore as a result of now making $1 million a year. I'm so excited about that.
Everyone, if you missed that, you got to go back because Joel had a crazy opportunity come up and you're not going to want to miss it. The next card we're going to talk about after we all hail the, what was it, a $10 super chat, right? I think it was. Walter,
Timothy,
thank you for the $2.
Kirkpatrick said,
I believe it
call
was
me Moth.
That's right. Call me Moth.
Thank you for the $10 super chat, Timothy Kirkpatrick. Oh, hey. Oh, hey.
Walter, thank you for that reminder. We appreciate you so much.
Walter, thank you for the $2 super chat as well. So, yeah, hang on. So, yeah, Jin-Gitaxias, this treatment in particular, pretty excelente. When you're looking at treatments of Jin-Gitaxias, list, Secret Lair gives you your Phyrexian version there. New Phyrexia is your OG. And then you got your Multiverse Legends versions. You got your Etched. You got your Ichor treatment.
Cheaper.
Numbered. Yeah. Etched cheaper. $8, by the way. You got your showcase-ish frame here. They're just called the Multiversal Legends, and they gave them the treatment from their home plane. But I mean, that's, to me, that's a pretty iconic version now of Jin-Gitaxias, is that Ichor treatment. And then you got the iconic masters with the same art. So, I mean, dude,
pretty crazy that the MUL treatment is cheaper than a lot of the other ones, despite being a variant. So that kind of tells you like the direction we're heading is people don't really care about that as much. They do with some cards, but it's really about whatever's cheapest. And a lot of the times, whatever's cheapest is whatever's newest, whatever is the newest thing that's come out.
That's right. Under 5 for a bomb creature. Great treatment too.
Now let's talk about a card that you can play in EDH, but it's also a card that is a 4 of Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. This is another one that I want to highlight because this was a card that got, geez, I feel like this was around 30 at one point, but since it has been reprinted, we have a big adjustment in price. Yeah, you could see when this card was being played in Standard, this card was just nutty. A lot of decks were playing it. It has Pioneer use, it has Modern use, and right now you could find it for around $5. So it's another one of these cards.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is the Theros star or constellation treatment that we saw come out of Theros Beyond Death. We also saw this on Secret Lair products, and now we see it in the Multiverse Legend. We see Wizards of the Coast kind of doing this thing where they're unifying all of their past things, and they're kind of like, okay, Theros is going to have the constellation treatment, which means when we go to the future, we're probably going to get some sort of variant of that treatment. Ixalan has these new little coins that look like treasure. We've seen all sorts of different sets. Theros has the storybook frame. But yeah, $5 for Kroxa, and this is a card that's just nuts. For me, I have one copy of this card. I still haven't bought these, but when I looked at Multiverse Legends today, I was like, well, this is definitely what we're going to highlight for great pickups. There's just so many good cards that are printed into this slot, and right now they're all hitting all-time lows. And will they dip cheaper? Maybe they do, but for me, a full play set of Kroxas for $20 seems like a nice pickup.
We're talking low risk. Zero Requiem, I really like this comment in chat, said, Kroxa Halo foil's like $6. Feels absurd. I bought a play set.
Yeah.
That's another thing that you need to keep in mind with this Multiverse Legends set, is that there's not a lot of consumer confidence in foils right now, but from everything I've seen, the Halo foiling is not bending as much and looks pretty insane in hand. Looks pretty excellent from the videos I've seen.
I like this card a lot. It's oppressive, man. It's such a crazy card to try to get out ahead of. It's just nuts.
For all these though, just look at the potential Halo foiling as well, because we're just in a weird time right now where there are foils cheaper than base copies just because people want playable versions.
Next up, let's talk about Skithiryx, Droll, and you could talk to us about that one, because this is one that you kind of called out wanting to get, you know, like sub 15 or sub 20 that you could see doing something in the future. For me, I think it's low risk too.
Oh, dude. Well, we're under 10 at this point. We're going to move further away. Like Jake said, maybe not at their bottoms yet, but we are entering that low risk territory. And for us, that's when you want to call these out, because you can't time the bottom here. And so this is just into that range where if it's at or below a price that you had set in your brain as the pickup price, now's the good time. Another card in the Ichor treatment from its home plane of Phyrexia here. This Skithiryx is insane looking. This was a card that it got up. Our original one was the Scars of Mirrodin. This got up above $40 twice. This got up above $40 twice. Yeah. And so, being a card that was relying completely on scarcity, we see it pop up in double masters. Now this one's getting back up. Look at this. Look at this. Under 20. Now it's getting back up. Now it's coming down because March of the Machine brought us 4 new versions across
That's a lot. I mean, that hits demand pretty hard, right? You know, it's like you bring all that supply and the demand is just going to dwindle, you know?
Yep.
It's a card that you don't need a lot of copies of. For me, it's a one of in the collection, and that's pretty much it.
Right.
Monstrosity with the $10 super chat says, oogly boogly. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's a good point.
Popping in.
That's a really good point.
That is a really good point and a good addition.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up. Let's talk about, we got 3 cards here that are all cheap, and then we got one that's expensive. Are you ready? We got 3 that are just super, super cheap. One is Teysa Karlov.
Oh, man. This treatment of Teysa, we've gotten
less than $1.
Dude, we've gotten some crazy treatments of Teysa recently, but like, I just want to pull this up in higher def because I don't think that people are really appreciating. Number one, look at all our versions of Teysa now. We just got this one in a secret layer, and everybody was like, okay, well, that's going to be the ultimate version, right? But then they come along and they drop this on us, and just, bro, Barbara Rosiak, my sweet Teysa here.
And we have the tease of the showcase frame that will be when we go to Ravnica related sets.
Yep.
So pretty sweet card here for under $1. I think you could get the foil for maybe around $2, but this kind of just speaks to you know, these sets within a set that exist,
right? Because
there's one in every pack. A lot of the ones that are rare and uncommon are just going to race to the bottom, and that's going to be pretty much the same thing with the next 2 cards we talk about. Teysa's an amazing commander. This is a commander that's really good. You have a ton of different variants that you can choose from to pick, but
she's also good in 99 of a lot of commanders too.
That's correct. Yeah, exactly. If you're playing big Teysa, you probably have little Teysa in the 99. This one for me, this is like, I mean, I don't really know how you get much safer than 42 cents as far as.
And look, we're not, I see some comments in chat about it not going up. We're not saying these cards are going to explode in price. We're not telling you to go out and buy even 2 copies, one that'll double in price and one that'll, you know, you can keep and one that you can sell and get a free version of it. These aren't the plays here. These aren't plays. These are safe pickups. These are low risk pickups for you to have, own, and play. Teysa's not
like
going to get
card
cheaper
goes to
than
$1 or $2.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's not going to go cheaper than it is right now.
But yeah, I wouldn't go out and buy all of them up or anything. I would just, like, if this card isn't in your collection and you've ever thought about playing it as a commander, that's a fun variant for cheap. The next one is Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, and this is a card that you can either have in the 99 or it's a card that is a 4 of in humans decks. And at this point, I mean, it's also sub $1. And this is a card that's very, very strong. And Yeah, it just shuts off non-creature spells. It's more of a sideboard card, but when you're playing humans, for example, most of the stuff you're playing is creatures anyway, and the effects are on creatures, so you might just want it in your main deck. But yeah, it's a great card, and it's also very, very cheap. And as you can see here with Joel scrolling through, tons of variants as well.
Yeah, it is wild how much Thalia has become the poster girl for variants. There was an entire secret layer of just
4 different ones.
Thalia variants, dude. It's insane how many different choices you have if you want to play Thalia Garden of Thurban. You could have 2 different decks. You could have 3 different decks and run 4 separate different copies of Thalia in each of the 3 decks and not double up on Thalias across all 3.
I didn't even realize that there were that many Thalias, but
that's why I wanted to bring it up, right? Because you kind of, in the back of your head, we knew that there were 18 variants of Thalia at this point, but until you look at them next to each other, you're just like, damn.
Oh, Sidechosen is kind of filling us in here saying Thalia is a CEDH stack staple. Yeah, and that's going to make a lot of sense as to
for sure
why they're trying to appeal to those players for like the big variants. Yeah, for me, it's a great card, and right now at less than $1, if you don't have it and you've ever been like, well, maybe I'll build humans in the future, well, you can get your entire play set of those just to have the best card ever from Dark Ascension for under $4 for the whole play set. Pretty good.
Yeah. Have you got one more cheap one before the expensive one?
Yeah, one more cheap one, and this is a card that needed a reprint for a long time. It was kind of expensive until until it was reprinted, and it's Hirobi Death's Wail, and it's another card that's less than $1. It has a big effect, and yeah, there it is. Big effect on a stick, kind of fun. If you don't have it, this is one for me where I was like, well, look at that. You can just get it for $0.25, less than.
Looking at the Champions of Kamigawa version here, we got up as high as $5, $6 based on no reprints. Now with this reprint, it's just gotten pushed down into the nothing.
Yep. It's got the Kamigawa soft glow frame that we saw, or the showcase frame from Neo. But yeah, pretty cheap card. And then the other one that we should talk about.
Before you talk about the expensive one, I want to just call out something that's caught my attention with this group of cards.
Sure.
And that is all of the companions. You can get each of the companions in these special Ikoria treatments for very cheap right now. And these treatments to me are the treatment for these companions. Just how beautiful they are. I mean, look at this Obosh. You're kidding me with this Obosh. All of these, I feel like you can get every single companion for under $6-7 shipped. I mean, Luris is the most playable out of any of them. 50 cents. Halo foils on these are also going to be very cheap.
So yeah, it's almost like just like a shout out to this entire slot right now is like, keep these in mind because a lot of them are very, very inexpensive. And yeah, it's this set within a set where you have one that's guaranteed per pack, and that was in set, draft, and collector boosters. You know that most of them are going to race to the bottom, but
37.
Wizards of the Coast, I mean, they have done their due diligence and they've made sure that there's some good ones in there, and you've got good cards right now that are extremely cheap. And one of them we highlighted early on when this set was starting to spoil, and I actually said that I would love if it got less than 50, and I can't believe that it has, and it may go lower. But Ragavan. Now Ragavan, this is still at a point where I would say there's risk involved, because when you're buying a card for $50, even when it's already gone through a huge adjustment in price, will they continue to get soaked up? They probably will. But the question is, how often is Wizards of the Coast going to reprint Ragavan? if you look at Ragavan's price before Multiverse Legends, it was like, you know, $75, $80 card. It was well over 50, chat. It was well over 50. When we were originally calling out this card and saying hopefully it gets to 40s, it was when it was trending around like, God, the 80 to $100 range.
Yeah, back in August, October, we're living between 70s for market price.
When was this spoiled? When did they spoil Ragavan? Who's the hero of chat that remembers the day that Multiverse Legends Ragavan was spoiled? Because that moment, I remember Ragavan had to have been like $80 at the time, minimum. It's gone through a pretty big adjustment from that Multiverse Legends.
Yeah, for sure.
Printing.
The price here is strange to me. Being cheaper than the OG almost. It's right at
because
the
of
price.
that slot. It's that slot, dude. That slot doesn't offer a premium unless you're getting something in Halo foil or etched or whatever. Like this for me. Yeah, look at the buy list on it. It's at 30s.
Like
look at that price.
Looks like it got previewed mid-February.
Yeah, so previewed. Yeah, around tax date says it was. Yeah.
Woof. These were pre-selling over 200s. Woof.
Massive, because you remember we talked about it. We looked at the pre-sale prices and they definitely sold for over 200.
Yeah.
And now people are learning. There are some people that are just going to buy them straight up because they don't care and,
yeah, they
and
don't
the
care.
money
They
doesn't
just
matter
want
to
them
them.
and they'll come in on a schedule and they're good.
Yeah, they come in and they get them and they know that they have them. Life with Luke, what's up? Thanks for popping in.
We have got multiple listings of a serial Ragavan.
Yeah. Got some serialized ones.
About 1400s looking like. This is one
God,
where
those serialized cards, man. I mean, I guess we could before we switch over into your picks from Dami Rima, which is my favorite way to abbreviate that one, Dami Rima.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable, but I do appreciate that you like it so much.
I like saying it.
33 is my favorite number. Damn, this one's for sale.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was your favorite number. That's funny.
I'm a threes guy, man. I'm into triangles and threes.
Annie's is 44.
Well, there you go. She's a 4 girl. I'm a 3 guy.
She likes 4s.
Anybody want to loan me $17.50? I'll cover the shipping. If somebody will buy this for me, I don't mind covering the shipping here. Just let me know. DM me on Discord if you want to buy me 33 out of 500 Ragavan. We will rendezvous and coordinate the push. Annie, Matt said he got a 444 Tesa for Annie.
Nuh-uh.
Is that did you pull that serial?
You did not pull a 444 Tesa.
Yeah, so Ragavan, it's interesting, man. I did a little count. 40 cards, Jake. 40 cards are on this Multiverse Legends from Kenrith down.
Yep.
If I counted correctly, that are under $3. Meaning you could get, and look at this, 1, 2, 3 of those 40-ish are above $1. Everything else is less than $1. And so if I counted right and it's 40, you can get everything from Gigantha down for $37 easy.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can pick up the others for like $5, $6 on top of that.
I'm looking here at some of the serialized cards, and I'll tell you the Praetors are far outpacing
dude
any of the other Multiverse Legends stuff.
Psychosen's dead on. Bro, these top tier commanders are not going to stay this low. These are going to be versions that people want. War Leader. Elish.
Oh, I think so as well.
Atraxa.
I mean, I think that this is for me, in my opinion, this is a set that you would want to have the full set for. I think it's just a fun set. It's got a really unique aesthetic. It's from a set that we'll never really see again, as far as like bringing everything together. Maybe they do another kind of thing like that, but like the Infinity War of MTG, it just happened in March of the Machine. But yeah, it's pretty there's a lot of good pickups on this list.
Yeah.
A lot of good pickups. We talked about and highlighted some important cards. But if any of these are on your
The
list
whole
that
list is
weren't talked
sick.
about, yeah, it's all really good stuff for you to just like pick through and hit these all-time lows.
$3 for the
Yarok.
version of Yarok, man. Like, this is so cool looking. The other half of this video that we want to look at is Dominaria Remastered. It has been, let's get an exact time here. Dominaria Remastered came out 1/13/23. 1/13/23. Sorted by price USD. Let's look at the boosters.
This is a kind of like a set that was kind of billed like a Masters product in a way, because you have big hits in it like Vampiric and Force.
Right.
But the spread of the cards is actually quite reined in. You don't have anything that's really over the top. I think people were supposed to remember Force of Will and the price memory that comes with it as being like this big over the top price.
Right.
But at this point, Force has gone down a lot.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing in this that even tops a hundo.
That's the
non-foil.
main card that I want to highlight is Force of Will. People, if you've never owned a Force of Will, you have that in common with me. I've never owned one. I've been watching the price of Force of Will from Dominaria Remastered since it came out. Let's look at it on TCG Player. Force of Will, like Jake said, was the highlight of this set. We're looking at the Dominaria Remastered version. Look at this chart.
Yep.
If you've been on stream with us before, you've seen any of our other videos that cover topics like this before, you've seen a graph that looks like this. And you know what this graph does after it looks like this. The next step is back up. Am I saying that it's done going down? I don't know. I can't tell the future. But I've seen a lot of graphs that look like this and then go right back up. And you start going, man, has it really been 5 years since they reprinted Force of Will? Think about Phyrexian Altar. Phyrexian Altar, sort of unrelated, not in this set, but the card itself, what was the last one? Double Masters 2022. The card itself, kind of fluctuating wildly actually right now, but look at it coming down over the year. Almost a year since this was reprinted. We started up in the 40s range. We're down into the low 20s. There's potential for this to get under $20, but Phyrexian Altar has pretty good price memory. Because if you go and look at like the OG, this one has been you can't even pull out far enough to see how high up it has been. Over 100 there, just on the year.
Force of Will foils have, I mean, Double Masters. I remember a time where I opened a Force of Will foil from Double Masters, not 2022, but original Double Masters.
Yeah.
And I opened it in one of those little expensive VIP packs. And I freaked out when I opened it because I had remembered that Force of Will and that art from Eternal Masters was like a $500 card.
Right.
That card now is $94 in foil. Like one sold on May 9th for a fifth of that original price. I see Force of Will from Dominaria Remastered sold for $72 foil. This is the updated art. So yeah, we're seeing some big stuff. Etched, or the foil retro frame, not etched, foil retro frame, $130. That's pretty crazy for a card that used to have just an insane price point. But that was back before the variant era, when pulling a foil mythic meant something. It was actually like, holy shit, I found the case mythic foil. Kind of like what we do on a mono quest.
But Liquor, the prices have never been lower. Force of Will is getting into a pickup range if you've been thinking about it. If you've got $64 and you're ready to go, I think this is a pretty safe trigger pull right now, if I'm being completely honest. Watch for 60s. Will it break 60? That seems like a pretty good number for it to bounce off of, just based on price memory alone. I think it's going to be tough for it to break down below 60, but we'll see. The other group, Jake, did you have something you wanted to say?
I'm just going to say this really quick because someone asked Force of Will borderless. The current lowest price on eBay, for example, of Force of Will borderless is, and this is the Scott Fisher art, is $60 for the non-foil, straight up extended art, or not extended but borderless. Oh no, that's RKF art, not Scott Fisher. Scott Fisher is from original Dominarium, or original Double Masters. Sorry about that.
D Hammer says until it's in Commander Masters. D Hammer, unless they completely left turn from everything that I've come to know about Wizards reprint policies and reprint equity protection over the last 7 years we've been doing this channel and really watching these numbers closely, it would be mind-blowing to me if they reprinted Force of Will in 2 different sets in the same year. I think that would be a huge mistake. I don't think that they're going to do that. They've never done anything like that to my memory. And
yeah,
so,
they pretty much save it. That'd
be like Mana Crypt popping up twice in a year. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, that Scott Fisher foil art being under 200 is just so wild too, because that's kind of like, you know, if you can recognize those trends, then you can really grow a collection in a big way, right? Because if you had opened Scott Fisher foil Force out of Double Masters and immediately sold it for 500, and you fast forward to now, years later, if you had that sort of foresight, fast forward to now, years later, you could have sold that Force of Will immediately and rebuy it right now for 200 and then pocket the $300 difference. That's how different the game has evolved since then. You have secret layer products, you have these collector products. So all of these variants that people were like, oh my God, it's going to the moon.
Seriously.
They are just, oh man. And Double Masters was kind of in the beginning of the variant era too. That was on their way to collector boosters, figuring that out. OG Double Masters. Mana Crypt has to be coming up soon. It has to be coming up soon.
Mystery Booster was 11/2019, and then Double Masters was
they did
8/2020, so almost a year later.
They did that secret layer thing. You remember where they did the secret layer thing with Phyrexia, Brothers War, and then also a convention box of mystery boosters?
Yeah.
That's like the closest we've come to getting more Mana Crypts into the market. I'm pretty sure that's it. Like, so yeah, we need a Mana Crypt reprint very soon. That's like my card that I don't have in my collection. I always sell it. I've owned like maybe 4 or 5 and I always sell them.
Anthony, Crypt is very due. Anybody wondering if they should sell their copy of Mana Crypt, we're never going to tell you to sell your cards. That's your decision. We will say it is due. It has been a while.
It's so due.
It's
so ready.
Looking at the Mana Crypts we've got here, last ones we got
Double Masters, bro.
And that was 2020.
And then
3 years off.
When did
of
Mystery
that.
Booster come out? When did that come out? Because
Mystery Booster was the year before, 2019.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then we had Convention come out like maybe a year later. It's hard to tell because
the LGS version.
Well, they had the retail version, which is the one we're talking about.
Right.
And then they had the convention one come after the retail one, I believe.
Mana Crypt has not been printed in this there will be 5 variants of all of the top cards era. It was printed in the variant era, as you can see here, but it was back in a simpler time of the variant era when
before
you just get one special version. There were no etched at the time. There was just base and showcase. But the thing is it's due.
It is due, dude.
I don't know that we will actually see it this year. I will eat my words in a couple of months when we start seeing the set previewing, but I don't think Commander Masters is going to need any help selling at all. And so I think the next time we'll see Mana Crypt is going to be next year when we see Triple Masters.
I mean, Triple Masters. You know, maybe not.
Dude, how long is it till we see Triple Masters? Are you kidding me? We could scoff at Triple Masters, but that shit's gonna happen.
You do have You do have a lot of people that are kind of like bearish that have kind of like put off buying cards. And so Commander Masters might need a flagship card like that to really push it. I think that would be a great set to reprint it in.
Dude,
I hope they do.
They've got Jeweled Lotus. They've got all of the special treatments of all your top favorite commanders, and they're going to have fetch lands. I'm just telling you, man.
Did they confirm fetch lands?
No, they have not confirmed that. I'm just saying that set's going to have fetch lands. We're going to get the Onslaught cycle.
It has J-Lo and the Dragon and
J-Lo and all those top commander reprints and the Onslaught fetches are going to sell that set like hotcakes. And yeah, cards like Deflecting SWAT, that's where we're going to see the commander only cards. Any of the cards that say commander in them. Back to Dominaria Remastered. Great pickups from this set also include the Tutors, Vampiric, Enlightened, Worldly, Mystical. Get these. These are look at Worldly Tutor 1157.
Vamp Tutor aside, which I could see you being like, I'm not buying a $30 card.
Sure.
The other ones like Worldly and Mystical,
there's never Enlightened Tutor, there's never been a better time to buy Enlightened Tutor in the Commander era.
That art is actually really expensive in foil in the old EMA frame, but in here it's much cheaper. Yeah, for me, Worldly, also Exploration I like. Yeah, but the tutors do stand out. I mean, Mystical needed one for a long time. It's a little bit more niche. I would say that Worldly and Enlightened I see more often, but
yeah,
Mystical as well. Really good.
It's a really good time to pick those up. I'm also going to include Entomb on this list. Entomb is a Reanimator tutor. I'm just saying, like, these being single digit, there's never a better time to go in here and pick up some staple commander cards. You can walk away.
Remora is pretty cheap too, under $5.
Very, very cheap. Isolated Chapel, all of these check lands. Isolated, Hinterland, Woodland, Clifftop. Dude, pick up a few copies.
Those lands I have bought in retro foil frames.
Yeah.
Because I know that EDH is going to want those in retro foil.
And they're going to want them forever. They're going to want them forever. I really like that play in particular with this set because you do have the retro foils, and I have the retro foils. I don't have them within arm's reach, but I've got a few retro foils from this set as well. I did the same thing. I bought the lands in the retro foil.
Yeah.
These cards are so cheap. The foil modifier, because again, consumer confidence in foil has never been lower. The foil modifier on cards is lower than it's ever been. And so looking at the really cheap ones, you know, World Gorger Dragon, Nature's Lore, Nut Collector, Last Chance, these cards here, look for these in the special treatments. Pick these up in the retros. Pick these up in the retro foils.
Crop Rotation retro.
So good.
Oh, wait, that didn't get a retro frame, did it? I don't think it did.
Did it not?
I don't think it did.
Negative. If they've got a special treatment, try and pick them up in that because they're cheap enough at this point. I mean, honestly, let's just look at Urza Lord, High Artificer, and Yawgmoth. Those were the last two I wanted to talk about in here. Force, obviously the big hits, Force, Vamp Tutor, and Sylvan. In general, you're looking at Urza's, like these top 4 hits. Watch these 4 till they start trending back up. If you want a copy, now's the time to pick them up. All of the tutors, including things like Entomb, including things like Gamble, all the 1-mana tutor cycle here. And then Yawgmoth and Urza. These two are now finally down into a range that's not ridiculous. We'd only seen them in Modern Horizons. We saw them as extras in Modern Horizons 2. Let's look at the Modern Horizons price here. Jake, April 2022. Modern Horizons Urza, $70.
That was when Wizards of the Coast was like, time to cash in on the Urza equity, baby. And then Urza got all the reprints.
That's what I'm saying.
It started getting all the variants, all the etched frames, and all the retro frames, and all the extended art frames. And
Mr.
look at what they
DJ
did to the price.
With the $2 super chat. What's up, DJ? How you doing?
Woo.
Thanks for hanging. Yeah, so Urza went down in price. Back to the title of the video. Great pickups. With all of this equity being burned through, we've been talking about reprint equity in this video. With all of this equity being burned through, there is just no chance that they just keep pumping these cards. These are all going to be archived. If they act like they've always acted, these are all going to be archived for 3 to 5 years.
You would hope.
Maybe see them in some secret layers while the prices are still relevant to secret layer prices. Because like right now they could do.
I think that's definitely a move. Is
a
like
worldly tutor, a mystical tutor, and a enlightened tutor for $30, and it's like $35 worth of value, something like that.
Oh my god, a secret layer that was like oops all tutors,
right? And
it's like they give you enlightened, worldly, and then maybe they don't go over the top. They don't give you the vampiric, but they go enlightened, worldly, and then maybe give you gamble, which
as
is
a secret card,
more reined in tutor.
Yeah.
You know, it could be like the kind of thing where if I were making a secret layer out of tutors based on current prices, I could give you worldly and I could give you enlightened and then I could give you mystical all together. But then once we go into that realm of like, oh, let's put the vampiric in.
Right.
I think if you put vampiric, you could maybe do vampiric
like
and then get away. You could do it by itself.
Viscera Seer and Blood Pet as a layer.
God, exactly. So that for me, yeah, you could do like vampiric, diabolic.
Right.
Exactly.
But the thing that they would have to do is if they're going to go that route, they've got to do that soon, because these prices are going to start going back up, and that's going to price them out of being in secret layers. We see how this works. We've seen how this works. We will continue to see how this works.
I would hope that Wizards of the Coast were to like kind of rein it in a little bit.
They're gonna have to.
As far as
it's unsustainable.
Well, here's the problem: is like they've established this thing now with like Brothers War and now March of the Machine. They did it in Strixhaven, where they do this set within a set. They did it first all the way back in Battle for Zendikar and all of the 6 sets that came out from Battle for Zendikar forward. But now they do it in such a way where it's like they want there to be this like premium kind of thing that exists within their standard sets, where they're like, oh, we're gonna print stuff like Ragavan into March of the Machine. Even though Ragavan's not going to be standard legal, we're going to figure out a way to get it into the box so that it sells stuff, right? And so I think that's where they're kind of blowing their load with the reprints, is like you can't have every set have some secret list of cards that help sell the standard set. The idea is standard should be selling the standard set because people want to play standard, so they buy the cards for it. But that's what's not happening. And so it's like
that's why they bumped it to 3 years.
Yeah, bro. And now every single set, it seems like unless a set has some big over the top slot where you can find something eternal that's commander playable, then people don't even want to freaking deal with it. They're just like, well, I'm not going to touch that set. It doesn't have a tutor package in it, or it doesn't have the fetch lands, or there aren't enough this or that in order for it to, but they did that to themselves. They established that. Now people want that.
Last card I want to talk about in great pickups here is one that has been near and dear to my heart, and I have tweeted at Wizards every single time a new set came out. No Mercy reprint win. No Mercy reprint this year, beginning of January.
Yes.
Jake, do you know off the top of your head how much this card is?
I'm gonna guess, because it's been reprinted and it's a pretty niche card, I'm gonna guess it's $7.
$9.
$9. Okay. $9.
I'm
sorry, I'm looking at chat.
No worries.
Shout out to Walter really quick. $5 super chat says, sniping the Monarch Bryce sent. Anyone else excited for standard now that the rotation lasts a year longer. I am. I bought a set booster box of March of the Machine the same day. Walter, there's definitely some implications about it that, you know, we're kind of diving into right now a little bit. But yeah, look at that price. Wow.
August 2021. This card was $50. You can get a copy now for $9. The retro frame one. Look at the similarities. Hang on, I'm going to hit back. Oh, look at that card. Hang on, I'm going to go forward. Oh, look at that card. Hang on, I'm going to go back. Oh, look at that card. You're missing a hammer symbol. That's it, chat. $9.
Yeah, look at it. See, but what do you need it for? Just Commander, you know?
Just Commander.
Like,
get yourself a single copy, baby.
Who in chat knows where No Mercy is played other than Commander?
It's not. Look at this. No recent decks really, found.
Right? Yeah.
You know how rare it is that there's no recent decks here?
Yeah. I mean, that again, scarcity.
Dominaria Remastered and the Multiversal Legends from March of the Machine. Y'all, that's right now. If anybody asks us where should we be looking for potentially good pickups, I would check those two sets.
Yeah, I think there's some great stuff in there from sets that kind of just get powered out, and like everything else in the MTG sphere, they get lost and forgotten in a matter of moments. And we're on to the next thing. We're on to the next one. I know that everybody's looking forward to August, where we're going to get Commander Masters. I'm sure that, you know, you got to pick and choose with all the Secret Lair products. What am I going to buy? Where am I going to park some cash? You know, because I don't have an unlimited budget for this stuff. You know, I didn't get the latest Secret Lair product. I haven't bought anything from the bundle yet.
Now look,
I, in fact, didn't even open a collector box of March of the Machine, and that's something that I typically do. Just not really in the budget. And singles just seem to be such a good way to go right now. It's like,
they always have been, but there's never a better time, right? It's just, dude, I haven't bought a sealed product for myself in years. I just buy singles if I'm building a Commander deck and I just want them at that time, or I fill up my binder with cards from sets that are 6 months old that nobody's talking about anymore. Real quick, this wasn't a planned segment, but I want to talk to FOMO real fast, because Commander Masters, the prices are just absolutely ridiculous right now. What's a booster box of Commander Masters going to cost you right now? $378 for a set booster box, $307 for a draft booster box. Jake, how much do you like a Commander Masters draft booster box at?
Wait, look at the collector booster box is actually lower than those.
Well, it's 200. It's 4 packs, I believe.
Oh, it is only 4, isn't it?
We're down. That's why I pulled up the prices of the Double Masters stuff. Yeah. Because Double Masters is a comparable set, in my opinion. Y'all, the cards from Double Masters 22. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cards over $20. Not a single one over 100.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty recent set. That kind of makes sense.
We're not quite a year removed from it, but I guarantee you, a month after Commander Masters comes out, you're going to be looking at the same sort of chart, sorting price high to low market, and you're going to see 4 cards over $100, a few cards in the 40s and 50s, a few cards in the 20s and 30s. Wait. Just wait.
Yeah, wait.
The hype
Jank,
for
thanks
this
for hanging out.
is insanity. The hype for this is insanity. The hype for was it the Aftermath of the Lord of the Rings boxes that we looked at on stream last time?
Say that again. Sorry.
It was the Lord of the Rings boxes that we looked at on stream last time, right? Where the hype is just not being met by anything we're seeing right now. It's completely driven on unknowns. Just wait. Just wait.
Yeah, I would just skip it, or not skip it, but I'm not even looking at any of that.
I'm not skipping this set, dude. I'm hoping they put this set on MTGO so we can draft it on stream. I'm telling you, we're going to go ham on this set. We went ham on Commander Legends. We're going ham on Commander Masters. We're definitely going to run Foil Quest of Commander Masters. So anybody who does want to grab a collector booster box, start budgeting for that now. We will have Commander Masters Foil Quest, I promise. I know we've kind of taken a break from Foil Quest because honestly, me and Jake have felt weird about encouraging people to buy sealed product recently. But it's
for
still
people
fun.
that are going to be buying it anyway, then we're gonna do it.
And it's still fun as hell.
Yeah, it's still a good time. It's still a good time. This is a product that's like, I will look at Double Masters 22. That is the North Star of all of the hype.
Exactly.
Tons of hype. And always remember the $800 Ren and 6 textured foil that you can find for $100 or less than 100 right now.
That's
just
what
remember
I'm saying.
that.
Just patience pants.
I miss super drunk Jake streaming for 5 hours to open one box. God, those were the days, right?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh! All hail! We have a new stream monarch. I had to go back and do the math because Walter has donated a membership. That's $3. $5. We're at $8. $2 more. We're at $10. And then $5 more. $15. All hail! The new stream monarch. Reclaiming his throne. Walter Aguilar.
Megabrand says, great stream tonight, boys. I gotta head out. I'll catch the rest tomorrow. Peace. Thanks, Megabrand, for hanging.
Yeah, we got one more segment we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna look at some Streets of New Capenna prices a year later and see what's settled out as being the high value cards over time. You just did a trade with someone in the channel, like you were swimming.
Oh, in BuzzFuzz?
All hail. All hail,
I'm sure maybe Buzz was in the Discord channel, did a trade over there.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. That's awesome.
Nice.
Join our Discord.
Well, give me just a moment here. I'll get a drink for this final segment, and then we'll finish this one out.
Walter Aguilar.
And then if you need to take a quick buy or something when I get back.
Surely. Surely. Will the Triomes go to 20 for the base copies? We'll look at that. All hail. All hail the stream monarch. Walter A. The name didn't change. New Capenna has only been out for 1 year. That is correct. I know time moves fast. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. Think about it. Yeah, Triomes were 5 to 7 for the longest time. 0 Requiem. And I screamed for about 3 months for everybody to go pick up the Triomes because they were about $5 to $7. I bought all the Triomes at like $5 to $7. Yeah, here, let me log in. I want to see when it actually was and how much I spent. Van Cross, we've actually been going around buying up landfills that are near us, hoping that we get a new set spoiled. That's silly. That's a dumb thing to say. David LeBlanc, welcome to the Token Creatures. As a token creature, you get our anthem. +1/+1, flying, first strike, haste, and indestructible. But I do have to warn you. At the beginning of every upkeep, we have to sacrifice one of you. But that's the risk you run. That is the risk you run. All time. Here we go. What's the name of a Triumph from that? They all had weird names. I can't just type in damn Triumph. That was when I was ordering Brothers War cards, Crimson Vow, Xander's Lounge. Thank you. The borderless Crimson Vow lands I was sniping off for $1 to $7. I don't know where those are at now, but here we go. Luxury Suite, $8. Jetmir's Garden, $7. Rafine's Tower, $9. Spara's Headquarters, $9. Xander's Lounge, $7. These are the showcase frames, by the way.
Oh, did you already jump into it? Are we going?
No, I was looking at, people were calling out what the prices of these were at now. And somebody was like, oh yeah, they were 5 to 7 like X months ago. And I was like, yeah. I was screaming on chat in Discord on stream, go buy these right now, please, because they're gonna go back up.
Before we get into this last chunk, chat, can you help us get to 169 likes, please? We're super close. We're at 140. We're at 142, but we have 216 people watching, so I think we can get to 169, no problem. All right, so I'm pretty stoked on this last segment. The last time we talked about a set a year later, we were talking about Kamigawa Neon Dynasty.
Yep, it has been a year since Streets of New Capenna at this point. Jake and I, like he said, we earlier in the year looked back at Neon Kamigawa a year after to see where the prices landed. After a year, what are the expensive cards? Have they gone back up? Why did the ones that have gone back up go back up? What's driving it? And so what we've done here is we've gone to TCG Player. We're looking at just the cards from the set, and we're sorting high to low. And I am taken aback, but not surprised, Jake, that the treasure token, which was the Asian exclusive, it was
where was this released?
Exclusive token set that was released. You'll see the others here. They are not as high, but they are up there on the list right here. Obscura treasure token, Riveteers treasure token, Brokers. All the families got their own and had the name of the family on the token. But this one sort of stood alone. The treasure token of a goblet full of Halo.
Because it doesn't have a freaking name of something on it. It just looks cool.
It just looks cool. Right. Edgar nailed it. These are the Southeast Asia exclusives. This is something that they have done sparingly, but over the last year, they have done quite a bit, which is the Japan or Southeast Asian exclusive token sets.
It's pretty sweet.
So this one is completely driven by scarcity and regional exclusivity.
Correct. Yeah, I was just about to say. Looks cool, but you don't need it at all to play the game.
Right. Looking up next, you're going to see a lot of cards here that are expensive because they look cool. But these gilded foils, Jake, honestly, when the gilded foils came out, I was like, this is hype. They look cool. However, they're going to fall and I'll pick them up then. Jetmir ended up being the one that's like CEDH playable commander. Very strong commander in general. Looking at the year chart,
unlike some other stuff, it hits a bottom and then starts to trend back up.
Didn't get any lower than the high 20s, low 30s.
Yeah, so what that means is that you had a lot of buying pressure that came in when it hit sub 30, because it goes into 29, then it bounces off 29, which means that everybody pretty much had their sights set on that card, and they said, if it goes below 30, I'll buy it. And that's what happens when you have a not a lot of copies of a certain card. You got this gilded foil version. What's the cheapest just Jetmir that isn't a special version?
Let's take a look at the versions of Jetmir. $5 for the mythic base copy right here.
And that makes sense because it's printed into a set that's going to have a ton, and I mean an epic ton of different variants, right? So, I mean, we're looking at all the different Jetmirs that exist from one single set that came out. The fact that the card holds a $5 price, even though it's a mythic, I'm pretty impressed, you know? And it's a cat demon. That's a good creature type.
So you're looking at Commander really driving these top 5, 6, 7. Gilded Foil Rafine, same category as the Jetmir. Playable Commander. This one hasn't really taken off in the same way. But
look at that. Look at that. It had like some people take interest and then it just kind of died off a little bit.
It was moving simultaneously to Jetmir, but Jetmir actually has high playability at sweaty levels, whereas Rafine is a really solid commander choice, good, strong commander, but isn't going to go take down any CEDH tournaments, at least as of yet, just because of what it does. I mean, look at the difference. Let's analyze the cards themselves for a while. Jetmir is essentially a play after you've got your entire setup ready to go enchantment. +3/+0, vigilance, trample, and double strike as long as you control 9 or more creatures. That's insanity. That's so strong. For 4 mana, once you've got 9 tokens on the battlefield.
He's essentially an enchantment commander. He's
That's
just
right.
like, he just has good stuff built in.
Right.
And he levels up based on your board state.
But
It's
then
really
when
strong.
you look at Rafine, Rafine's still strong because that whenever you attack ability doesn't mean that Rafine has to attack, so it can still come down once you're set up and ready to go. BuzzFuzz makes a good point with Jetmir. He does count himself, so you only need 8 tokens on the battlefield, correct?
That is true. It is true.
So Rafine can still come down and do the same thing, but target attacking creature connives is just not going to win you a game straight up. Whereas Jetmir can come down and win you the game ready to go.
Yeah. We also had that big Lord Xander. Oh yeah, we're gonna get there.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of shocked that Ziatora is still up here. Chat, has anybody played Ziatora? Is this a really strong commander and I'm just completely undervaluing it? I mean, it's got a lot of potential with cards like Rite of the Raging Storm.
It's got treasure.
So,
it's treasure, dude. It's treasure centric.
Rite of Raging Storm creates a 5/1 at the beginning of your turn. And then Ziatora, you can stack the triggers in an order that lets you sacrifice that 5/1 before you needed to for its own ability, because Rite of the Raging Storm says sack it at the end step. Stack this stuff, sack your right, 5 damage to any target, and create 3 treasure tokens. I can see the power. It's wild to me that a 6 mana commander nowadays that doesn't have any cost reduction built into it can command this kind of price.
Well, I think the reason is because we're looking at gilded foils.
Sure.
Versus the cheapest possible price of the card.
We're looking at the collector's versions because when we do these year retrospectives, we have to look at the most expensive value pieces in there. Yeah, Ziatora is a $2.50 card to go just pick it up.
Yeah.
But it's that commander in this treatment that is commanding the price. But I know that there are gilded foils that still aren't all the way up there.
Walter, give me an animal fry and a strawberry shake, please. And thank you for the $2 super chat.
Oh, yeah. Mustard bun. I'd like a chocolate shake. Double with a mustard bun, please.
Double would be good.
Giada.
I can't avoid the animal fry. All right, Giada. Sorry about that. Font of Hope.
Giada, Font of Hope. This is the Angel Commander, right? Is there another Angel Commander for us to even consider? I've played this deck. I have Giada built on Brawl, Historic Brawl on Arena. The deck slaps.
Yeah.
The deck absolutely destroys.
It's a guaranteed mana dork for your angels in the command zone.
That
it's
and
just a mana
every
rock.
angel you control enters with a counter on it for each angel that's already there.
Yeah, it's like a white hardened scales Mana Dork. Chat, come up with a good name for a white hardened scales Mana Dork for angels that isn't Giada Font of Hope, because that's essentially what it is. It's very strong. It's very good. It's like having a mana rock in your command zone. Like if I could play a mana rock in my command zone, I probably would do it.
Yeah, dude. The moment that Jake gets a legendary creature soul ring, he is going to be full mast
and everyone
ready to
everyone
build
will. Everyone will. I would probably play Llanowar Elf as a commander if I could. You know, it's like you could just, you know,
I would at least play that one that adds
cards
extra
like that.
if you've got a big creature on the battlefield.
Yeah, there's what is it? Glanra? Is that its name? It costs 3 and it adds 2, and you whenever it's a creature power 6 or greater, you draw a card off it.
Oh, the new one. You're talking about yeah, I know what you're talking about. The one from Brothers War.
Yeah, or it might be Commander Legends or something. It's a green card. I think it has partner.
Gwenna is what you were talking about, right? Add 2 mana in any combination to cast creatures and cast a creature spell 5 or
no,
greater.
it's
Put a
like
+1/+1 counter on top.
That's good too. It's like that. You type in Galanra. Type in bro, or yeah, just type that in. See if that brings anything up. A green card.
No.
No, it's Commander Legends and it has partner.
Type partner type elf, right?
I believe.
Gillanra.
Yeah.
Add a green when you spend it to cast a CMC 6 or greater.
It's not bad.
Cast
I like
spell.
the one you. Yeah. You draw on the cast, bro.
Draw on the cast. Let's go back to new Capenna.
And it has partner, so you can make it not mono green, which is good.
So it makes sense that a highly playable commander in its showcase foil etched version is going to command a nice little price. Can we talk about Lord Xander, the overhyped? The overreacted to?
Yeah. Pretty wild. This card is just good, though. It's pretty good.
It's still a strong card, don't get me wrong, but it does cost 7 mana in colors where you're going to need treasure or rocks to get there.
Yeah, artifact pile.
I remember when this came out,
in the colors for treasure.
Everybody freaked out so hard when this commander came out. Oh my god, it's going to break everything.
Against this. I played against this a couple times.
It was overhyped. At this point, it's still at a good price. I mean, it's the 6th most expensive card in the set at $21 market. You got some listings as low as 16, but you're looking at light play copies here. So we're gonna touch the lands here, but Obnixilis, is this even seeing any play?
It's in Pioneer.
This is a Pioneer Rakdos deck, Rakdos card.
I'm pretty sure it's a Pioneer card, yeah.
Telling on myself, I don't go to Goldfish a lot. It's not in my recommended.
It may have some modern niche playability, but I'm pretty sure it's just a Pioneer card. It's in Standard.
Looking like it's being played in Modern and Pioneer.
Yeah.
We got Modern decks that are placing.
It's silly, dude.
Running.
Yeah. Fury and Seasoned Pyromancer are so freaking good. I feel like Black Red is going to be well positioned in Modern and Pioneer for a very long time. Like a very long time.
Well, you've got Ragavan.
Yeah, not only do you have Ragavan, but like the Spyro and Fury and then stuff like Lightning Bolt and Terminate are just stupid. Just stupid.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing it being run. It's not even in the sideboard. I'm not sure what Goldfish is on about here.
Oh, it might be one of those things where it pulls up the deck archetype, but then it's like it doesn't pull up the deck that it has it in, and you have to like kind of poke around and find it. Yeah, because I don't see it there either.
I'm clicking at this point on ones that have got results.
Duress, exactly. Fury is such an insanely good card.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing it getting played, but I mean, the thing is the showcase foil etched version of it, the coolest art, about $20. Past that, we've got Ledger Shredder, and we all know what happened with Ledger Shredder. This card came out.
That's a constructed card.
Sincerely underhyped, but it came out and it absolutely exploded in extended formats. 4 of. Obviously, that's why a rare from this set is holding a $20 price point. Yes, it's the extended, but I bet it's not too far down. Yeah, Ledger Shredder right here, $10, market 15.
Yeah, that's a card you want 4 of.
Right.
You want the 4. Yep. I think that I'm actually not surprised by this list.
Modern Commander standard.
Yeah. I've played against that freaking Obnix and just like a few times, and it is just such an oppressive card. I'm not even surprised that it still has a value. I want to see its lowest possible price. Let me take a look at that.
Obnixilus Adversary.
Yeah. Obnixilus the Adversary. Buy it now. Price plus shipping lowest first. So $5.95. You can get a copy of it for.
Yeah, I got $4.17 at TCG.
Yeah, that's not bad. Walter with the $2 super chat says, "Where's all the lore you promised, guys? LMAO."
Oh, hail. I'm not going to change it right now, Walter, but you are still the Monarch. I got to add $4 to the Monarch total.
Minute 21 of this in and out line. Oh God. Well, you made a mistake because you went to In and Out. So you're gonna eat some good food, but you have to wait forever. Any time of day.
And then
Unless you're at like 3 p.m.
After that, you've got the Triomes, and they make sense. These are the borderless versions of these Triomes. They've also got showcase version frames. Those are the ones I picked up. But the borderless ones are holding your highest price points. 15, 16, 17, 20. For the Triomes, plain Island Swamp holding your best shots here. Best price, because it's not going to be searchable. Right. It's not going to be searchable with your green. And so it's in a triome of colors here that will need help with fixing because they don't have easy access to it via things like green. Look at the next one. Blue, black, red. Same thing. Doesn't have access to the same. Right.
Yeah.
You just don't have the same access to fixing. After that, you got the green, white, blue one, and then the red, green, white one, and then the black, red, green one down here. Zeatoras. All of these are over $15. But, I mean, the price of these is being driven probably occasionally by some 3-color constructed deck that wants a couple of them. But in all honesty, this is a commander priced card, right?
Yeah. I mean, it just has eternal playability because of commander. So not even surprised with all of these, and it's easy to just cover them all together because they're all just very good, and we learned from Ikoria that they're good. So they were just kind of ushered into being good based on the cycle that they are. They didn't really have to prove themselves. People knew that they wanted them. I think people sometimes forget about that cycling because so many times you're just tutoring it up to play it. But being able to cycle these away when you do pull them late game, it's a pretty big deal. Get a card.
Yep, that, and they've got the types.
Yeah.
We're down towards the 20s, towards the 20th card. That's about how far we want to go down in these retrospectives to look at what is going to drive the prices so that maybe we can learn some lessons and look at sets that are previewing or have just come out, figure out which cards are underpriced for where we think they will go. Look at this. Not the price that it ever was. I mean, this is definitely one where if you pulled it early, you wanted to sell it. You definitely wanted to move it. But the Elspeth Resplendent Showcase Foil Etched from Streets, holding down
a little price point.
Yeah,
yep,
absolutely. Being that $15 plus. The other one you've got Urabrask Showcase Foil Etched. So you can look at the mythics from the set, especially major character mythics, and go, oh, okay, these will probably hold a price just because it says Elspeth on it.
Yeah.
Just because it says Urabrask on it. Like, this card is fine. But the Showcase Foil Etched is holding a big price. Not as high as it ever was. What does this teach you about the mythics? Early on, sell and rebuy is almost always the move.
Always a good idea. Yeah.
We have not, I'm not saying it's always the move. I'm just saying that we haven't seen a chart yet that argues with that.
One would be a mono Liliana foil, which is wild because when it came out, it was like 400 or 500. And if you had dropped the 400 or 500 on it, you're sitting on like a $3,000 or $4,000 card.
I haven't heard of that card. Past that group of cards, you've got another Gilded Foil Commander holding about that $11 to $15. And then you got the tokens that we already talked about, and you got your base copy of Ledger Shredder. Maybe relevant to talk about is the Gilded Foil Void Rend.
EDH ended up wanting it.
Look,
like we expected.
Right. Look at the direction that this is traveling, is why I wanted to bring it up. Because this price is, I mean, look at the line. The line is not doing what the other lines were doing.
Yeah.
People want this card. It's playable.
It says can't be countered. Yeah.
Destroy a non-land permanent, any permanent. Instant speed 3 mana, can't be countered.
Yep.
And this was the only printing of it, correct? Yeah. This was a new card for Streets of New Capenna.
Yeah. This was a new card. I love that. That's a good low risk pickup. Copy of Void Rend under 3. That seems like something that your collection will like if you're ever in those colors in Esper.
I love this. I mean, look, the line looks really big until you see on the chart that it's 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So it's not like crashing and then exploding, right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's a slow trend upward.
From 8 to 11. Yeah, I think that this is honestly in a pretty decent pickup range right now, because it's, you know, in a year, this uptick will be small compared to where it goes if, number one, this doesn't get reprinted. Number two, it's obviously not going to be reprinted in this Gilded Foil treatment. They pretty much...
Oh, that's a good look.
They pretty much keep the treatments solely to the set. They'll have a new treatment next time, or new cards in this same treatment. But this version of Void Rend, it's doubtful that we get another version like this.
That's a pretty good read, because we see, like, look at that. We had that bounce off the bottom. It comes back up and then it dips down again. And at that point we had a chance at, does it keep bottoming out? But no, it actually just continues to trend upward. Yeah, that's an interesting card to watch.
I want to look at the sales on this one. Seeing near mints for 15, near mint. Somebody sniped off a near
look
mint.
At those those light played foils for under 8 is nice.
Somebody saw a listing of this for $9.75 and was like, yoink. As early as the beginning of the month, we saw Void Rend Gilded Foil. Oh yeah, really good condition. Centering's a little off. Here you can tell. And you got some damage here along the left side. This is probably more of a light play, but I mean, it's a TCG player near mint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do see a Gilded here on eBay sub 10. And then I see the showcase version as low as under $4.
So takeaways from a year removed of Streets of New Capenna. What can drive prices in sets? Premium versions of playable commanders, the mythic characters from the set. I mean, we've got Abi, Elspeth, and Urabrask all right here, and only one of them is actively maybe being played. And from 6 clicks on Goldfish, I couldn't even find a deck that has placed recently that actually runs the card. But it is in the discussion of some very playable mid-range Rakdos decks in extended formats. So playable commanders, the mythic characters, and land cycles.
Land cycle, baby. That's what I was going to say. That would be my addition, is a good land cycle is enough to get people into your set. And for me, that was one of the things that I remember being the most hyped about going into Streets of New Capenna was, oh, well, we're getting some good lands. We're getting some good lands.
Yeah, dude.
If nothing else, we got some good lands coming.
Impossible to reprint? They called them Spara's headquarters. I mean, I guess
pretty tough. It's pretty tough to reprint them, but you know, I was actually thinking about a video called "The List Killed My Specs," because in a lot of ways, it did, and especially as we see them to continue to refine the lists. I don't know if anybody noticed this. I'm sure that some of you in chat did, but since like Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, like the list has seemed a lot more stacked to where you're pulling less of like the junk common and uncommon cards, and you're pulling more like good, notable, rare like list hits. Like I'm seeing stuff like, you know, Urza's Saga on there for Modern Horizons 2. I'm seeing other like really strong cards, Anointed, and they like show up, you know, kind of frequently. So I don't know, something to keep in mind. But the list kind of, it feels like you could put anything on it. It's kind of like my point there is like they could put the Triumphs on the list and then all of a sudden, you know, whatever, or maybe they put them in a secret layer, something like that.
Yeah, I could see a layer. They could potentially give them the Godzilla treatment and put them in a Masters set. They could just pop up in a Masters set, to be completely honest.
Sure, 100%.
You can just
the
drop
Masters
them in
set
there
has no theme. They're just like,
who cares about the plane?
Yeah, exactly.
So to sort
Phyrexian
of button
Altar
this,
was the list hit too. Yeah.
To sort of button this discussion, the land cycles, your playable commanders in whatever the most premier treatment is of that set, your mythic characters, and then you're going to have the occasional card like Ledger Shredder that pokes through and becomes a 4 of modern card and you know, really blows up because everybody needs 4 copies of it. But that is sort of the takeaways from Streets of New Capenna 1 year later. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. If you're live, don't leave. We were just ending that for the YouTube folks later on down the line.
Bob says, I'm not pulling any better list hits. Are you not? I feel like I've seen the list has been like, if you're buying a box, like a set box of recent sets, it seems like the list hit is pretty stacked. Like it's pretty good. You say Triumphs will be in the next master set?
Mystery set.
Oh, mystery. Oh, I could see that.
That could be a, yeah, I mean, that's essentially a master set, right? That would be a good place to drop them. It's like cards
Force
that say the word commander on them. You can't reprint those unless it's a commander centric set. That is probably a master set. You're looking at these Streets of New Capenna, the names on them. You know, it's the same kind of thing. Like, even if they go back to Streets of New Capenna, which of these 5 characters survived the whole Phyrexian War?
Right.
And so are you gonna, I don't know, it just seems like it closes them off. I don't know why they named them like this. At least with Ikoria, it was like Ralgrin Triome. It was like, you know, they could it was places. It wasn't a person's building. Like they've named all the New Capenna, Streets of New Capenna Triumphs.
Yeah. Sheesh, Quantum with the 20 gifted. Thank you.
Quantum Mechanic with the 20 gifted. Yo, if you're in chat right now, you gotta see if you get a gifted membership right now, because I need many thanks to Quantum Mechanic. Quantum coming through with the gifteds like a madman.
Thank you, sir.
I gotta see. I'm glad you survived San Francisco. I told him, he said, I'm going to San Francisco. I was like, bro, people are getting stabbed every day over there.
Oh no.
Wear some mithril and call yourself safe. Don't be in the dark. Colin, what's up? Yo, everybody who got a gifted from Quantum, make sure you say thank you.
Taste Spice, holy forking shirt balls. Thank you, Based Quantum.
There you go. Absolutely Based Quantum. 20 at $3. That's a new monarch. Oh, hail. Walter A., you've been dethroned.
No, Walter was a great monarch, though.
Walter A., your reign will be remembered.
Yeah.
For In
He's
and Out.
no longer the monarch, but is about to be eating In and Out. So
That's
I hope
right.
that trade-off is good. I hope that's a good
You're
trade-off.
the king of hamburgers.
You're
You
the
are no
king of
longer
hamburgers
the
now.
king of the stream.
You're going to be the monarch of the bathroom later.
You will have your own throne.
You will. You will.
Q, thank you for coming through with the gifted. That's wild, man. Thank you so much. You're a madman.
Bob is saying Ketria Triome is in the list, FYI, but I suspect there will be a Triome Secret Lair fairly soon. Yeah, I think Secret Lair could be a good spot for something like that, and that's a pushed layer. And we have seen pushed layers before. There's like layers that are like, oh, it's a baseline layer, which is like 90% of the secret layers that we review.
Right.
But then you get a pushed layer that is just like, for example, all of the price memory that came with the Praetors when they did the Phyrexian Praetor text. So from that perspective, yeah, you know, they could just do all the triomes, and then you have people just go, oh my God, triomes. They do one that's like the Ikoria triomes, one that's the Capenna triomes, or they break it up and they do that weird thing like they did with the Shocklands. Does everybody remember that? Where they put certain Shocklands in together, and there were a bunch of different Shockland secret layers, and if you bought all of them, you would end up getting like one of a couple of the Shocklands, but then other Shocklands you would get like 2 or 3 of.
Right. As far as layers go, you can have a layer of espresso dipped ladyfingers. You can have a layer of mascarpone cream.
That's
you can
true.
have, I mean, then you got another layer of ladyfingers and then another layer of mascarpone cream.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of,
sounds great.
I mean, as long as the top layer
We got
is
a
that sort of
mascarpone
dusting,
and raspberry gelato in the freezer, man.
That's
It's good.
What kind of layers that got? Sounds pretty good.
It's got at least 2 layers, mascarpone and raspberry.
That's what I'm talking
what
about.
else is in that thing? She said she thinks that's it. It's a
You
fruit and
want
cream
that?
kind
You
of thing with some
as
cheese.
far as layers go, if you've
Fruit
got
and
the right
cheese.
layers, you really want that layer of like cocoa powder on top. Makes you
Yeah.
cough, gets caught in your throat.
Yeah, you don't want that to get caught in your throat too much. Speaking of secret layer, and before we move on from it,
Oh hell!
I am
By the
very
way,
happy. All hell, quantum mechanic. I am very happy with where they've come
Whoa.
with the secret layer
Got it.
product, where you have the box, which is where it started out as, which was insane. You could put cards in it. It actually fit cards nicely. But now it's just a small envelope. It's just you get something that can easily fit inside of like a $5 mailer. And
Look,
yeah, I'm happy with where it is. I don't know if Zach's hanging out, but the 90s binder experience did arrive.
can you see?
I'm a fan of that. I
Yeah,
love
dude.
that.
This is so sick. I can just
They've had 3 different
slide it,
iterations.
put it into a file, broop,
Yes.
and it's stored,
exactly.
good to go forever. My wind grace is safe in there.
I think I'm going to do an opening of some secret layers that I had planned on keeping, cards that I don't yet have in a binder. That's like Walking Dead and some other stuff. I was like, I think I'm going to do an opening of these. That way I can cut down on some space and also just get some cards to play with, because it's like explosion sounds and some of those early ones I never opened, but
Yeah.
I wanted to keep. And so, yeah.
Well, we've actually gotten you back into actually playing Commander consistently. And so you've
A
got a
little bit.
shit ton of cards to break out.
And because I'm organized now, and because I know exactly what I have, building is a dream, because I just go to like
Yeah.
the green uncommons box
That's what I'm saying.
and everything is sorted A to Z, and I'm like, where's Beast Within? It's in the ABCD area of the green uncommons box. I don't have to go try to find it. I know where it is. So that's really nice too.
Helpful.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna do a like a kind of like PC fundraiser and build some commander decks and put some fun value in there and possibly show some of those off. Like I want to build some decks. That's
and a good idea. Sell some commander decks.
Sell some commander decks that have, you know, kind of like cards that are a signature of cards that I've played before. Like I might make a SRAM deck, and I might make like a budget Karavik deck and some other stuff like that. Some fun stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. I've really loved Professor always has a lot of great ideas. I love Professor's channel, Tolarian Community College. Go check it out if you've never seen it. He recently has been posting these videos that are his own pre-cons. Have you seen these?
I've seen these. Dude, I have.
Such a good idea.
And
dude.
he gets his guy, or I don't know if he does it to like do a thumbnail that makes it look
someone
like
photo edits the box packaging to look legit, and he just makes his own pre-cons that are budgets. And he's probably got, if he's really doing the monetization right, he's probably got a link in the description that you can click on, and it populates the entire deck in a cart for you, and you can just buy it. So yeah, I've loved that idea. It's also an idea that I don't mind stealing because it's a generically good idea, and all credit to him. He gets all the credit. He came up with the idea, but I think it's a thing that we should try because, you know, that seems to me like the spiritual successor of 3 Ways to Build or 8-Minute Deck Tech. That's kind of where it's gone. Is here is a pre-constructed commander deck. You don't even have to think about it. Press order in the description, watch this video, and we will explain all the interactions to you, and it will arrive, and you will be able to play it right out of the box, and you've got a whole primer video on it that you can watch anytime you go to play it. So I just love this idea. I love the idea.
I like that idea too. I like that idea too. Maybe we just change the name of it. Just go Jajam Precon.
I call it Jajam Professor Precons.
Yeah. Maybe we make it what would be the play on Professor? Who's the person who helps the professor that's in the
like
room?
A TA?
Yeah. Yes. We figure out a way to work it into something like that.
Yeah.
Gaming Bob says, I would love to see you come try Commander Raids. It's very much like running with scissors in a minefield.
Oh, dude.
Bob, you know, I'll try to check it out.
I've never heard of Commander Raids. What is it? I like the idea of like dropout, Jake. We play on the college idea, but where it's like stoner dropout precons or something.
What if we call it Skid Row Precons?
I don't think we should talk about Skid Row in our videos.
Probably not. I'm talking about the band.
Oh.
I'm talking about the band, obviously.
I can't listen to them, so I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Oh, that's right. You can't. Good throwback, by the way. That's great. We're in a whole different show now. That was like the previous set.
Called a callback, and we are classically trained improvisers.
I see some improvisers do a callback from like a previous team's like set sometimes, and that is really jarring. But if they're good and they pull it off well,
they're good.
Props to them.
You have to be careful because the immediate gut reaction is you're trying to ride their funny, and that is not a good look. Not a good look at all. It's the same thing as saying that's what she said in an improv set. Cringe into a piece of coal and die. Please don't quote movies or TV shows in your improv set unless it's been like directly worked into the game somehow.
That's what
Welcome
she
to
said
our improv class.
That's what she said at the grocery store when you're with your girlfriend or your wife. Is funny. It's like, oh, that's a thick sausage. That looks good.
Yes,
that's what she said. That's fine. But if you are at a show, then no, you don't want to do that's what she said. That's correct. 100%. I agree with you. We're on the same page there.
We could teach everybody about some improv stuff.
Yeah, we could. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. This has been a fun night.
Yeah, Chad, I think we're going to wrap this one up. We had originally discussed earlier in the week potentially drafting. There's a vintage cube on MTGO right now. But
Friendo, Tolarian dropouts.
Ooh,
Oh my God.
that's actually that perked my interest.
That's very funny.
Mitch does the hyper budget stuff. Prof does the build your own pre-con. You guys can do the build it for the Jam League deck for $102.50. Yeah, I think we would pick a dollar price point that crosses well with the league, because that is something that we really want to push. You guys were just saying don't ride coattails. All of my best ideas are stolen. Don't get me wrong. Ain't that right,
That's
Quantum?
the human experience. That's the human experience. My best idea that I ever had that would have made me a millionaire is one Christmas I wanted to put a little thing on like the corner of a door that had spikes on it so that my cat could rub his head on the spikes on the door, because I always saw my cat come up to the door and do his neck and stuff on the wall, and I was like, if I could just put something that fits onto a wall and has spikes on it, I bet a cat would love to rub his head on that. Never did it. And then I saw it on Instagram with like 500,000 likes and a whole bunch of people that are like, finally, this for my cat. This is a perfect product.
Dude,
I bought 17,000 of them.
I bet you get that manufactured overseas for 30 cents and you sell them for $9.99 or $12.99, and you laugh all the way to the spike covered cat bank.
You do. You get a tattoo.
Message the prof and do a collab.
Like a spiked cat thing.
I'll just go to the collab forest and climb up a collabby and jump off into the professor collab.
Bob, that series isn't going away. The What We'd Buy, it's just something that we need to bring back, but it's definitely not going away forever.
We're in the middle of a channel rework
earlier today.
Literally today. Yes, exactly. I'm telling you, we are in the middle of a channel rework right now. We hope that y'all have enjoyed sort of the new direction we're taking it, covering a lot of the finance and topical timely stuff in streams, and then making our story videos, which is what we'd rather be doing. They're just way more fun. They're way more rewarding. We think y'all enjoy them more. I think over time people will enjoy them more, because in 6 months our conversation tonight about Streets of New Capenna prices is going to be irrelevant, and so
no one's going to want to hear about it.
It's tough. We still love talking about it. That's still why we got into doing this. We just think it works better for streams. But the point, what we buy.
Bob. That was a great video that Joel put a ton of time into, and so that's kind of like where we want to live, man. We want to come up with these stories that people want to come back for their
collection
the
stolen?
impact.
The Swedish, the most recent one.
Yeah.
That is really a passion. That is like putting time into those. We have them spaced out roughly about 4 to 6 weeks each, and then we've got, Jake does one, I do one, and we've got one that we send off to an editor. So hopefully we have some fun stuff cooking up, man. We have some good stuff. I'm going to be diving a lot more into Matt actually just said it, like the BFZ video was so relatable. Exactly. You're going to see a ton of stuff like that from me, which is me going through old collection moments and reliving those past experiences. I have so many missed opportunities on not selling cards in the hype. I might as well make a video on YouTube that makes like $50 that talks about it, so I can recoup a little bit of that loss if anybody's going to watch it. It's funny. But yeah, chat, we're going to get out of here tonight. Love y'all, mean it. Thanks for hanging out. You're going to see cuts of this one for the next couple of days. We've got it's going to be a couple weeks before we have a new big one come out. Our next one coming out is like 2 or 3 weeks away, I think. And it's a cool one. It has to do with Wizards of the Coast suing a company so hard that they couldn't even continue to make their game. So it should be a fun time.
And then after that, a little ways down the line, a couple months down the line, we have a fun interview with a gentleman who won a tournament while on mushrooms. And so we've already done that interview, and that's going to be one that comes out in the future, which was an amazing article from many years ago. And it's a great conversation there to be watched.
That one's going to be fun as hell.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty crazy one too.
Good night. Catch y'all on the Discord. Commander League, we will be having a town hall soon, probably end of this month. Two-headed giant month is next for Commander League. Do not forget. We talked about it in Discord today. We're not assigning partners for that. Go find your own partner for two-headed giant. Bring them into the league. They do need to join the Patreon for the month to be eligible for the league. That's just to support prizes and stuff. Y'all know that. Bring them in. Find your partner for the two-headed giant month. Build the decks. Jake and I are going to do, he doesn't know this, but we're going to do at least one building stream where we build two complementary two-headed giant decks.
Oh,
specifically for the league.
Oh, I want to do a really quick poll for anybody who's still watching, because this was something I was thinking about in the car. And so I want to do this poll. Let's just take 2 minutes. Yeah, whoever's going to vote on this.
Before Jake types in there, I was thinking in the car, I could just pull right onto the sidewalk as fast as possible and hit those people.
Oh my God.
You're going to type that?
No, that's not what I was going to type.
Psychopathic, Jake. Why would you type that?
No. Would you watch an organizing and hangout stream where, like, say I'm just organizing some commons or uncommons, just gotta sit there and hang out and look at some cards?
I've talked about this before.
Did we?
Yeah.
Would people be interested in this? We'll see if people are interested in this.
Remember when I told you to stream when you were organizing like 4 months ago?
Oh, you did bring it up, but some of that gets kind of like stale when I'm just sitting there. But for sure, I have got to like the refining moment where it's like I still have a good bit of organizing to do with some commons and uncommons. But yeah, it's a sorting stream. Oh yeah, so it's just 100% saying yes.
Told you, man. Yeah, I've been putting off for a while just based on time and us doing the big channel reorg and trying to get everything set and moving consistently.
Yeah,
I've been putting off doing.
There we go, getting some no's.
An audit. I mean, look at my.
I like that we have honest people in here that aren't just pandering.
All we want is honesty.
I like an anonymous poll. It's good.
Over here, I've got this entire shelf up here is Commander decks. I got a whole closet of Commander decks. This is all a bunch of bulk binders that haven't been sorted in years. And so I've got I wanted to do a whole collection audit.
Oh,
I've been planning this stream for like a year.
You
auditing my entire collection and like what Commander decks do I actually want to build, have constantly able to be added to, you know, like what are going to be my, if I could pare my Commander decks down to like 10, that would be excellent. That's where I want to be.
Yeah. I have in my organizing found a bunch of old Commander decks, and I found like Sharum, which was completely decimated. I found old Red Black Wart. I have like Rafik in pieces.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of early Jake decks that are just all in shambles. And then I think my oldest deck is now Karavik at this point. It's like, and it's weird that that's like my main deck that I've played the most.
I have somehow been able to keep Uriel with me since the beginning. It has been re-sleeved, unsleeved, and re-sleeved. It has been added to, taken away from. I mean, it's a deck that I haven't updated so much that I updated it in the middle of last year, and it still had Indrik Stomp Howler in it. Because back in the day, a 5-mana 4/4 version of
Craterhoof, right?
No, the elf that destroys an artifact or enchantment.
Rexage, yeah.
Big Rexage, 4/4 Rexage for 5 was a good card back in the day.
Yeah, so maybe we will do an organizing stream. We had 27 people vote on that, and 89% said yes. So
yeah, I think people would want to hang out.
Maybe just an impromptu stream that we could just try one day when we don't have much going on.
Be a good way for us to give each other the night off once every 2 or 3 months. Do something like that.
Oh, that actually reminds me, Joel. This next Wednesday, Annie has a big improv show that I'm going to. So that'll be the one that we're off. Beautiful. And maybe you do that a collection audit that day.
Yeah,
that could be fun.
I'll do that stream. I'll just take the next week off, or I'll look at it and see. But yeah.
And I could do an organizing stream one day of the week just to make up
I think next Monday. I think next Monday we'll do a 2-headed giant building stream so that you and I have our decks locked for.
That would be great. That I have wait, like we actually build it in the moment?
Yeah.
Or no, but not with paper. We're just going to build it online.
We can build the lists, yeah, but that's that, and then pull the cards just so we can be ready, because it'll be by next Monday. It'll be about 2 weeks until that month starts.
And if there's any changes, I could just go into Moxfield and make a change and
exactly.
Yeah, somebody did ask if we were going to be posting deck lists, and I think I missed it earlier. Somebody asked. Go to Moxfield. Because on our last stream we did some deck lists on Monday. I did update those deck lists on Moxfield. So if you missed the Commodore Guff or the Aronix, what is it? Onyxia. If you missed either of those, I did put those Moxfield deck lists, but you can always go to the Jake and Joel Moxfield. If you do buy any cards, please use our TCG affiliate link. You'll find that in the description of our videos.
Here, I just dropped our Moxfield link in chat. Everybody go and hit like. There's a vanity follower count on Moxfield, and my ego needs more followers on our Moxfield.
Oh, do we not have enough? I got a comment on my Atali deck, and that made me feel like a king over there. I was like, whoa, somebody commented on my deck. Yeah,
dude, a deck comment? You are a king.
I was like, what the shit? A deck comment.
Go over there, go over to our Moxfield and hit follow on our Moxfield. But yeah, if the description doesn't get updated for a day or two, our decks are always going to be on Moxfield. That is the home of all of our Jam decks. So
that is right.
Make sure that you're over there. We'll just go ahead and call Monday Two-Headed Giant building stream. Jake and I'll build our decks for League next month. I believe it's a $500 budget between the two decks, so you can have 400 and 100 or 250, 250, whatever you want to do.
Oh, wait. Are you telling me we could have one deck that just has a bunch of reprints of like $50 worth of counter spells, and the other deck just be the home run deck that has all the good stuff?
That is a possibility. That is a way to approach it.
Sounds fun.
The only thing is we have to pick March of the Machine commanders, and so...
Oh, that's fine.
I personally want to pick something besides the Rona that I've already built. Maybe you pick something besides the Atali you've already built.
Yes.
And we'll see.
Does that count? Does that also count Multiverse Legends slot, or just from March of the Machine? Okay.
March of the Machine and the March of the Machine Aftermath has been included.
Oh, okay.
We added that and the precons that go with them. Bobby, is that right? Are you still here? I believe that's correct.
I think that's okay. Cool. All right. Well, we went over a little bit there, but everybody, thank you so much for hanging out.
Not everybody.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you again to Quantum for the 20 gifted. Thank you again to everybody for the super chats this evening. Lots of support from you guys, and it means so much to be able to boot up a stream and have like 150 people watch the entire time. It's a blessing. So thank you all so much for spending your time with us. It means a lot.
Especially when we're being morons for like at least 40 minutes of this stream today.
It's pretty sweet, dude. It's pretty sweet. A lot of shit in the world sucks, but getting to hang out on the stream is a good time.
No, oh my god, yeah. Somebody said Narset is legal. Maybe we pick one of the pushed legends from Aftermath. All right, everybody. Good night.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.